Chapter 981. Who am I? Is it important who I am? The voice sounded self-deprecating. I've fallen long ago. Now I'm just a collection of remnant thoughts. Fong Ping did not believe it. Remnant thoughts? He had seen them before. Over at the emperor's tomb, those venerable emperor's remnant thoughts had been revived. They were all crazy. How could they be so calm? This person definitely had a clear consciousness. However, this person did not say anything. Fong Ping did not ask anymore. He looked at the pearl and said in a low voice, "Senior, can I take the gate of all beings?" Huh? The person in the dark was a little surprised. He had already said it so clearly, yet the other party still wanted it? Are you coveting the Tao inside? However, the owner of this gate is extremely powerful and has already made arrangements. Besides, you're only at origin. Even if you get this gate, I'm afraid you won't be able to pry into the Tao inside. Fong Ping said nothing. I don't care. The point was, if this thing really had hundreds or thousands of Tao, giving it to old Zhang. Convergent Tao. What was convergent Tao? The real convergent Tao. What was old Zhang's crystal book for? It specialized in integrating his Tao. Comprehending one, integrating one. After integration, his convergent Tao would become longer and wider. That was how the powerful old Zhang was now. Fong Ping did not know if this gate could be used. If it was old Zhang could really integrate thousands of Tao. Even if one Tao was integrated and added 10 meters long, it could also be added to 10,000 meters long. Of course, Fong Ping did not know what was going on with convergent Tao. However, it was a treasure. It was better to have it than not to have it. The voice in his mind sounded again. I can wake up because you entered origin. Your Tao and my Tao may have overlapped in the past. You advanced here, triggering a resonance with my origin. That's why I can wake up. If you really want to take it, I won't stop you. However, this thing is the source of all evil. In the past, countless people died because of this thing. Sai, if this thing is born, I'm afraid there will be countless deaths and injuries again. The three realms will be in chaos. This person's tone was very complicated. Fong Ping muttered in his heart. Was this guy a saint? I don't care if the three realms are in chaos or not. Moreover, this time, this person wanted to throw the three realms into chaos. If not, how could humans benefit from it? That was not right. This person said that his origin Tao overlapped with his. He was not a saint. Fong Ping cursed in his heart. Slander. The thought flashed through his mind. Fong Ping said in a low voice, "Please forgive me, Senior. I do need this item to save someone." Now that the human realm was about to be destroyed, many people came here to seize this item, slaughter the human realm, sacrifice the common people, and open this item. The reason I took this thing out is to have someone destroy it, so that those people don't really want to slaughter to the human world. Blood sacrifice. His voice trembled. Have we still reached this step? The human world is the place where many emperors stepped into the great Tao to prove their Tao. Sacrificing the common people there might indeed make the great Tao manifest, but that's billions of common people. Fong Ping's heart trembled as well. Really? He thought that the blood sacrifice to the human world was just a pretense or for the sake of the seed of rebirth. However, what this person meant was that Earth was the place where many emperors had proven their Tao. Sacrificing the humans on Earth there might allow the great Tao to appear. Damn it! Fong Ping gritted his teeth. Since this person had said so, it meant that the blood sacrifice of humans was not groundless. It was very likely to happen. Fong Ping suppressed the restlessness in his heart and continued, "Senior, can I take this with me? Also, can this thing be destroyed?" "Take it. Sai, forget it. Just take it." As for destroying the gate of reflection, the core of this door is the core of the divine mirror. Unless the divine mirror is found, I don't know if the cat is still alive. The divine mirror was destroyed by Tengu years ago, but the original owner is still the cat. If it is still alive, maybe it can retrieve the core and destroy this door. Fong Ping was stunned. Can a stray cat destroy this thing? The core of this thing was the core of the cat's divine mirror. He had heard it before, but he did not think much about it. Now, Fong Ping could not help but ask, the cat? Most of the cat's divine weapons were picked up. It's not the original owner, right? Many of the cat's divine weapons were picked up. It felt like it was picking up junk. Anyway, this cat wanted any broken things. It did not mind whether it was good or bad, as long as it could be used. Sometimes, when he thought about it, this cat was quite pitiful. It was a stray cat. With no one to play with, it could only pick up some junk to play with. It was just like how stray cats could play with a ball of yarn for half a day now. Tengu was still alive. It probably had a companion. Tengu was dead. It had finally met unquestionable Jian, but in the end, unquestionable Jian seemed to have let it down and even schemed against it. The cat often talked about the days when it fished with unquestionable Jian. It was obvious that it missed those days. As for what happened after that, the cat did not mention it. Did the cat really not know that unquestionable Jian might have schemed against it? The cat did not mention it either. The cat said that when it reached the human world, it would take back the bell and leave. In the end, it stayed here and did not leave. Fong Ping felt that it might really be too lonely and wanted to find someone to accompany it. At this moment, speaking of the cat, Fong Ping suddenly felt a little sympathy. Actually, were he and old Zhang not scheming against it? This was because the cat was very strong and very capable. While scheming, did the two of them really not take any precautions at all? They did. It seemed like no one cared about the cat in Magic City. But in fact, old Zhang would often monitor near Magic City. Not only that, this time when old Zhang and the others wanted to leave, they also wanted to bring the cat along. Could they not leave the cat? Without the cat, old Zhang had this plan before. Was he not prepared at all? There were some things that everyone knew, but they did not say it out loud. At this moment, when this person mentioned the cat, Fong Ping did not know why, but he suddenly felt an indescribable feeling. This cat was being watched by many people. The owner of the voice obviously did not expect Fong Ping to know about the cat. He said with some surprise, "The cat is still alive?" "It's alive. If you know about the projection gate, don't tell me you don't know that the cat was sleeping in Quechang Mountain." Quechang Mountain? I have some impression of it, but the owner of the voice seemed to have thought of something and quickly changed the topic. If the cat is still alive, then this thing can be destroyed. But you guys have to be careful. If the owner of this thing knows that the cat is still alive, he will definitely not let it go. No, if the divine peeking mirror is not in the cat's hands. It's here. Fong Ping blurted out suddenly. At this moment, he suddenly understood something. The three realms ranking list might have been created by the divine sect. The cat was number 1. There were so many divine weapons. Maybe the other party really valued the divine peeking mirror. The owner of the projection gate might want to make the cat the target of everyone, then kill the cat and destroy the divine peeking mirror. Fong Ping had some doubts. Maybe the person did not know that the cat still had the divine peeking mirror. Fong Ping had not communicated this to the Heavenly King garrison. Otherwise, he would understand that everyone really did not know before. Because the divine peeking mirror was broken, the cat rarely used it except when it was watching a show. In these thousands of years, the cat actually did not have the chance to watch a show. Therefore, not many people knew that the divine peeking mirror was in its hands. It was not until the last time it took it out in the Magic City catacombs and reflected those powerhouses that people found out. The divine peeking mirror is still in the cat's hands. I'm afraid that the cat is in danger. The person sighed and said, but he won't dare to attack the cat rashly. The cat is... Killing the cat is not tolerated by heaven and earth. But that person is full of tricks. Maybe he will have another way. Killing the cat is not tolerated by heaven and earth? Fong Ping was stunned. There was such a saying? This matter is hard to say. An emperor once said that if the cat dies, the path will collapse. The cat cannot die. But later, an emperor said that the cat can die. But the person spoke vaguely. Fong Ping did not know if he could not say it or something else. He said quickly, "These are ancient rumors. It's hard to distinguish the truth from the lies. If you want to take this item away, then destroy it as soon as possible. If you destroy it, that person will not attack again." Fong Ping nodded and said quickly, "Senior, can you revive now? Why don't you go out with me, and we can destroy this item together? I'm afraid that when the owner of this item comes, we won't be able to stop him. Sigh, I'm just a wisp of my origin. I'm not really resurrected. This is my origin world. That's why I can say some things. Once I leave this place, you can't sense me, and I can't leave this place. Fong Ping was not surprised when he heard that. He continued, Senior, can you kill those villains here? Those who are fighting in front are all villains. This time, they all want to seize this item. I suspect that some of them are subordinates of the projection gate's owner. I've only revived a little of my origin. I don't have any combat strength. Fong Ping was speechless. Was it true? He was starting to doubt whether what this guy said was true or not. No combat strength? Did you think I would believe that? Right at this moment, the voice said again, this altar is built in the core of my origin world. Not only does it absorb the flesh and blood essence of those who died in battle, but it also absorbs some of my remnant origin. If I'm on the altar, I still have some combat strength, but once I leave the altar, Fong Ping's gaze flickered. Senior, how much strength can you unleash on the altar? Can you kill an emperor rank? Kill an emperor rank? The owner was stunned. This person was only at the origin realm. How arrogant. Even the 8 kings of the past did not dare to say that they could kill an emperor rank, right? He had already said that it was just a wisp of origin that had revived. What was this guy thinking? After a while, the voice said, no, even a true god would find it difficult. Fong Ping was speechless. Was it true? Even a true god could not kill it? Then what about the weakened true gods? The ones who were guarding this place, previously. This should be possible. After all, this is my origin world. But, Senior, Fong Ping did not care whether this person was a true saint or not. With a mournful expression, he said, there are nearly 10 billion people in the human world now. 10 billion lives. These people took back the gates of projection and handed them over to their owner. Perhaps they really want to sacrifice the human world. Senior, since you pity the common people and have the ability to do it, do you really want to watch the human world be destroyed? All these years, countless martial artists of the human world have died in battle. None of them had a good ending. Among the martial artists of the human world, there are almost no centenarians. Is there a centenarian? I'm afraid not. Fong Ping said in sorrow, his eyes red. Senior, I lured Chong Qingzi to this altar. If you really pity the common people, please help me stop him for a while. Senior, you don't have to kill him. I'll go and kill other strong enemies. If I don't die, I'll come and kill him. As soon as he said this, the voice in the dark was silent for a moment again. After a while, it sighed. Forget it, forget it. However, the gates of projection must be destroyed. Don't let any more innocent people die tragically. Senior, you are righteous. Fong Ping bowed solemnly, his right hand across his chest. He was extremely solemn. At this time, the voice said again, your aura changing technique. At this moment, Fong Ping still maintained his faceless aura and appearance. After hearing that, he said without changing his expression, Tsang Mao taught it. I know Tsang Mao, so. Tsang Mao, the apparition thought for a while before saying, is that so? I've never heard of it before. Could it be that Tsang Mao learned it later? He thought of many things, but he did not ask in detail. Seeing that, Fong Ping said no more. He took a step forward, abandoned everything, and took the bead in his hand. As soon as the bead was in his hand, Fong Ping noticed something strange. It was very, very heavy. It was as heavy as 1,000 caddies. Fong Ping wanted to keep it in the storage space, but he could not. This time, Fong Ping frowned immediately. Senior, can't this thing be kept in the storage ring? This is the gates of projection. It's also the gates of Great Tao. How can the Great Tao be kept in a mustard seed? However, this thing can be placed in the source world. However, in the source world, this thing will absorb the origin energy. This is also the reason that person put this thing in my source world back then. In other words, putting this thing in the source world might make Fong Ping unable to use his origin. Fong Ping understood. Then he put the bead far away again. The voice was slightly surprised. You're not taking it with you? No. I'll leave it here first. When Chong Qingzi comes later, I'll take it. Fong Ping said it calmly. If he took this thing, would Chong Qingzi rush into the altar? Without a doubt. He had to lure him in. Only then would he have the confidence to kill the others. Chong Qingzi was too powerful. Moreover, he had the ability to kill him. Fong Ping dared not fight him recklessly. At this moment, the sounds of battle in the distance seemed to have stopped completely. Fong Ping did not know if the two sides were unwilling to continue fighting or if they had sensed something. He sensed that the qi movement was moving toward him. Fong Ping took a deep breath and said again, "Senior, I'll depend on you then. Once Chongqingzi breaks free, I'll definitely die. The billions of living beings in the human world." Fong Ping sighed and did not continue. At this moment, Fong Ping took a few steps back. In the distance, Chongqingzi and Man Xiong's figures could already be seen. Behind him, Qi Huanyu had already stopped his joint attack and was following behind. Faceless. A furious roar reverberated throughout heaven and earth. Chongqingzi's hair and beard stood on end. "Where's Elysian Moon?" At this moment, in everyone's eyes, Faceless was striding toward the center of the altar, trying to take the orb away. Chongqingzi and Man Xiong's speed skyrocketed. They were extremely fast. "Where's Elysian Moon?" Thinking of the space tremor earlier, both of them had a bad feeling. Elysian Moon? Might be dead. Faceless killed her. Fong Ping did not turn around. He walked quickly toward the orb. However, he seemed to be tempted. He struggled a little and walked very slowly with difficulty. Chongqingzi was furious. "Faceless, how dare you? The gate of all beings is not something you can covet." Faceless wanted to snatch the gate of all beings. Chongqingzi covered 1,000 meters with a step. He was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he was very close to the altar. At this moment, Fong Ping was only one step away from the orb. In the next moment, Chongqingzi's horsetail whisk broke through the air and headed straight for Fong Ping's back. Fong Ping did not delay any further. He grabbed the orb and dodged it hurriedly. Rumble! The horsetail whisk broke through the void and charged toward Fong Ping again. At this moment, Chongqingzi also took a step onto the altar. He roared furiously, "Faceless, you!" As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping broke through the air and left the altar immediately. "You!" Chongqingzi wanted to say something, but the next moment, there was a dazed look in his eyes. Then he suddenly stood still on the spot. Behind him, Man Xiong hurriedly stopped in his tracks. His face was full of horror. What was going on? Why was Chongqingzi not moving? "Faceless, what did you do?" Man Xiong roared furiously. What had happened? Elysian Moon seemed to be dead. Faceless had betrayed him. Chongqingzi had met with an accident. There were 4 powerhouses guarding this place. At the last moment, he was the only one left. At this moment, Qi Huanyu and the rest who were following behind him also stopped in the distance. Qi Huanyu glanced at Faceless and raised his eyebrows slightly. Were these people fighting among themselves? No, it did not seem like it. This fellow was the one who went to Fong Ping's place to fight and then returned, right? Fong Ping had not appeared until now. He did not think that Fong Ping was dead. Since he was not dead, those people from the land of rebirth had not come until now. The next moment, Qi Huanyu's pupils shrank. He roared, "He's Fong Ping." At this moment, Fong Ping also broke through the air. He bypassed the slightly dazed Man Xiong and went straight toward them. He laughed and said, "Qi Huanyu, you really know me well." "Huh?" Fong Ping laughed and returned to his original state in the blink of an eye. At this moment, Fong Ping's speed was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he was close to them. Qi Huanyu roared and stabbed his spear toward Fong Ping. He roared, "Kill Fong Ping." Fong Ping came at the right time. This fellow was too bold. At this moment, that strong man was still here. Fong Ping killed his companion and pretended to be his companion. Now, they could join forces with him and kill Fong Ping. No! At this moment, Qi Huanyu suddenly remembered something. Fong Ping killed the other party's companion, and it seemed like there was more than one. How'd he do it? After fighting with Chongqingzi earlier, he knew that these people's abilities were all true king powerhouses. Even if they were half crippled, they were still true kings. Although Fong Ping's double 9 refinement was strong compared to him, he was at most on par with him. He might even be slightly weaker. However, How did Fong Ping kill these true kings? Retreat! Qi Huanyu suddenly thought of something. He roared and retreated quickly without saying a word. However, it was too late. He had taken the initiative to attack Fong Ping earlier. How could Fong Ping give him the chance to retreat? Sky Smasher! A low roar echoed throughout the entire space battlefield. Fong Ping threw a punch, and his right leg broke through the air, heading straight for his head. Boom! The punch and kick had blasted Qi Huanyu's spear apart, and even his arm had exploded in an instant. Qi Huanyu was terrified by the kick, and he hurriedly flew backward. Boom! The void was destroyed by the kick. Fong Ping did not chase after him. Almost without hesitation, he landed in the crowd behind. He did not give Qi Huanyu time to use the joint attack. After killing these people from Destiny Royal Court, Qi Huanyu would die sooner or later if no one cooperated with him. Die! Fong Ping was extremely brutal. He punched a rank 9's head. The other party did not have any time to react. He exploded in an instant. Even his mentality was destroyed. No! How strong was Fong Ping now? A casual move was Qi Huanyu's limit. It was too easy for a paragon to kill a rank 9. Although Fong Ping was not a paragon, at his level, to these people, whether he was a paragon or not was not a big difference. Kill! Fong Ping's speed was really as fast as lightning. His mentality erupted suddenly, intimidating one person. He kicked out and the other party exploded. Fong Ping did not even look. A Changdao materialized in his hand. He swept it in all directions and killed the enemy again. It was only now that 4 or 5 people had been killed that the others came to their senses. Fong Ping was too fast. He was so fast that he repelled Qi Huanyu with one strike and killed his way into the crowd. These people had just fought with Chang Qingzi. At this moment, many of them had not recovered to their peak. How could they be a match for Fong Ping? The next moment, the crowd scattered. Run! Fong Ping was terrifyingly powerful. Run! At this moment, Fong Ping let out a cold humph. More than 10 masses of imperishable matter were thrown out. Then, Fong Ping gritted his teeth and slashed some mentality again. At this moment, his mentality was only about 10,000 hertz. The increase in mentality from breaking through to rank 9 had been slashed twice by him. It had been completely wiped out. However, this was not a waste of effort. More than 10 Fong Ping appeared in the blink of an eye. Although their gazes were dull, their combat strength was not weak. They all had the strength of a weak rank 9. The strongest of the Paragon's clones had the strength of an upper stage origin. The weakest would not be weaker than a weak rank 9. The other party only slash mentality. Fong Ping, on the other hand, equipped these clones with large amounts of imperishable matter. Although the mentality slashed was not much, their strength was not weak either. These clones killed their way into the crowd in an instant, although their strength was far from these people's. After all, those who had survived until now were powerhouses. However, these clones had no problem creating chaos. As for Fong Ping himself, his aura disappeared instantly. In this chaos, Fong Ping's existence was almost impossible to find. Ah! A scream was heard. Fong Ping's silhouette disappeared in a flash. With one hand covering the sky, he crushed a rank 9 powerhouse directly. At this moment, Qi Huanyu had already reacted. He roared, "Fuse! Quick!" More than 10 Destiny Army powerhouses roared one after another. Their mentality and energy erupted, and they quickly rushed to Qi Huanyu's side. They fused their energy with him and used a joint combat technique. However, just as these people rose into the air, Fong Ping's silhouette flashed and appeared below one of them. With a punch, he punched through the other party and fell to the ground directly. Damn it! The long spear in Qi Huanyu's hand condensed again. He stabbed it toward Fong Ping and roared, "What are you waiting for? Join forces and kill Fong Ping." That brawny man must be stupid. Right now, the other party seemed to be hesitating. Should he go to the altar to save Chang Qingzi or join the battle? However, Qi Huanyu knew that Fong Ping was sinister and cunning. Since Fong Ping dared to appear openly at this time, that old guy would definitely not be able to escape. If Man Xiong went, he might also be trapped. If that happened, then it would be really dangerous. The battle with Chongqingzi earlier had consumed a lot of their energy. Moreover, Fang Ping had killed 5 to 6 rank 9 martial artists in an instant. Many of them were from the Destiny Army. The power of the joint combat technique now was not as strong as before. After all, Man Xiong was a true god powerhouse. At this time, he still decided to kill Fang Ping. Moreover, the gate of all beings was in Fang Ping's hands. He had to get it back. If he lost the gate of all beings, even if he got out, the divine sect would not let him off easily. The 4 true gods had been guarding for thousands of years. In the end, they had lost the gate of all beings. Even if they did not kill him, he would still be severely punished. Bastard! Man Xiong was furious. His golden body erupted, and he was extremely powerful. A punch pierced through the air and went straight for Fang Ping. Fang Ping sneered and hid in the crowd in the blink of an eye. Boom! An explosion was heard. An injured rank 9 martial artist could not block the furious Man Xiong's punch and exploded on the spot. Qi Huanyu was so angry that he vomited blood. He roared, "If you kill more of our people, no one will be able to control him." Idiot! Man Xiong glared at him fiercely. Qi Huanyu was not afraid at all. He said angrily, "Kill him. He still has companions. They are all top-notch powerhouses. This person killed thousands of Origin this time. Your companions were killed. Isn't it enough to learn from his mistakes?" He had had enough. Could he still not see the situation clearly? Man Xiong suppressed his anger and snorted. "Then let's join forces and kill him." At this moment, Qi Huanyu had also integrated the strength of the others. Without a word, he quickly rushed toward Fang Ping with his spear. At this time, Kong Lingyuan shouted from afar, "Bullying with numbers? I'll fight you guys." As soon as he finished speaking, Kong Lingyuan flew toward him. Fang Ping laughed loudly. "The 2 of them are mine. Don't fight. Kill the others so that they don't sleep again." "Sleep my ass," Kong Lingyuan cursed. Without another word, he rushed into the crowd. Forget it, he would not look for trouble. Those 2 fellows were very strong now. "Don't sleep again. I've endured until now. I'm going out soon. It's time to decide the winner. I don't want to sleep again. This time, I'm going out with my eyes open," Kong Lingyuan roared. This time, he did not defend anymore. He waved a folding vitality fan like a machete and quickly joined forces with his clones. In the blink of an eye, they were fighting with the catacombs' powerhouses. At this moment, Li Daong and the rest rushed over from behind. They roared one after another, "Kill the enemies and seize the treasures." It was the final moment. Almost everyone in the space battlefield was here. It was time for both sides to decide the winner and the loser. Kill! Battle cries pierced the sky. Chapter 982. Blood splattered everywhere. Golden bodies exploded. Today, death was the main theme. Kong Lingyuan, Li Daong, Zhang Yuanhua, Su Hao and one powerhouse after another fought in a bloodbath. Wars were sometimes ridiculous. Thousands of rank 9s had died in battle today, all for a portal that reflected the Tao. God knew how many of those true gods outside had become pawns for others. Fang Ping held the vitality Changdao in his hand. The saber and spear collided, sending Qi Huanyu flying backward. Behind him, Man Xiong's iron fist shook the sky. Like his name, he really looked like a bear. Every punch shook the void. Fang Ping was not paying attention and was hit by Man Xiong's punch. His back was pierced directly, and he flew thousands of meters away. The 2 powerhouses joined forces to attack Fang Ping, their auras shaking the sky. "Fang Ping, you must die today," Qi Huanyu roared. This was the last time. He could not give Fang Ping another chance. Fang Ping's speed of becoming stronger made him feel hopeless. From being far behind him, he might not be Fang Ping's match now if he had not integrated the energy of some Destiny Army powerhouses. If this person did not die, Divine Continent would be in chaos. Man Xiong did not say a word. He suddenly growled. A pair of golden iron fists extended hundreds of meters, and with a rumble, Fang Ping's skull cracked. Hand over the gate of all beings. Manxiong looked at the gate of all beings in Fong Ping's chest. His eyes were cold and fierce. He broke through the air, his fists like fire. In the blink of an eye, he punched hundreds of times. Fong Ping also roared, waving his saber and sweeping. In the void, silhouettes appeared one after another. They were no longer the phantoms of the past, but the silhouettes of the origin. One by one, the fallen powerhouses wielded long sabers and swept in all directions, quickly fighting with the others. Manxiong roared. With a punch, he blew up some of the phantoms. He said angrily, "Petty tricks. If you don't hand over the gate of all beings, don't blame me for killing your companions." As soon as he finished speaking, Manxiong turned around and punched across the air. On the other side, the human who was fighting with the catacombs powerhouses, Fong Yu roared and waved his palm to block. With a bang, his palm exploded. Not only that, the punch had not reached its end. It exploded again, punching through Fong Yu's chest, courting death. Fong Ping let out a low growl and broke Qi Huanyu's long spear with one slash. He held the crystal house in his left hand and smashed it toward Qi Huanyu in a frenzy. After smashing more than 10 times in a row, Fong Ping once again broke through the air and destroyed Brown Bear's second punch with one slash. Manxiong laughed coldly and said coldly, "Looks like you still care about these people. Since that's the case, hand over the gate of all living things and wake Chong Qingzi up. Otherwise, I'll kill them all." "You're courting death," Fong Ping roared furiously. Then, the crystal house that was frantically smashing Qi Huanyu disappeared in an instant. The moment the crystal house disappeared, Fong Ping's eyes were like the ocean, surging with waves. He turned to look at Qi Huanyu. In the blink of an eye, Qi Huanyu looked confused. Bearman said coldly and fiercely when he saw the situation, "What gall? Since you dare to be distracted in front of me, I'll kill you." When Fong Ping was fighting him, he actually dared to open up a second battlefield in the source world. This guy was crazy. Qi Huanyu was not weak. Fong Ping was only a rank 9. Even if his mentality was slightly stronger than Qi Huanyu's, there was still a limit. As for the source world, Qi Huanyu had traveled for a long time and stayed at rank 9 for many years. The source world might not be any weaker than Faceless from before. Fong Ping actually dared to drag Qi Huanyu into the source world to fight at this time. Moreover, he still had to face him. If this was not courting death, then what was? This was Fong Ping's first time trying to fight both sides. At this moment, he indeed felt the pressure. His movements and reflexes had all become sluggish. He had no time to care about Qi Huanyu, who was in the source world. Ren Xiong threw a punch. Fong Ping could not dodge it in time. The bones in his hand exploded, and he was sent flying backward. Ren Xiong quickly followed up, waving his fists so tightly that Fong Ping kept bleeding. Not only that, in the source world, Qi Huanyu was indeed extremely powerful. Qi Huanyu, who held a long spear in his hand, was even more powerful than Faceless. Joint attack combat techniques. Joint attacks also had the source. At this moment, Qi Huanyu seemed to have merged with many silhouettes and appeared in the source world. Wielding a spear, he swiftly attacked the slightly dazed Fong Ping. In the source world, this was Fong Ping's first time seeing Qi Huanyu's source world. Previously, when he slashed his Dao of origin, Fong Ping directly entered his Dao. At this moment, Qi Huanyu let Fong Ping see what a normal martial artist's Dao was. His source world was not big. In fact, it was very small. However, behind his floating island, there was a path of light. Waves of energy gushed out from it, making Qi Huanyu even more powerful. It was close to 1,000 meters long and 100 meters wide. 100 meters wide. This was definitely not considered a narrow path. Fong Ping did not know if he had expanded it later or if it had been like this from the beginning. In any case, apart from Zhang Tao, Fong Ping did not seem to have seen a path of 100 meters wide. No wonder the Life King wanted to walk on his Dao. Fong Ping saw his Dao, but Qi Huanyu did not see Fong Ping's. It was not that he did not see it, but he did not see it. Fong Ping had carved out a path that was 3,000 meters wide, but its length was extremely short. At this moment, it was attached to the floating island. It seemed like the floating island was expanding outward. If one did not look closely, it was almost impossible to notice the difference. Fong Ping's path was still dark. There was a slight glow, but it was not too obvious. As Qi Huanyu attacked Fong Ping, he asked in surprise, "Where's your Tao of origin?" He did not notice Fong Ping's Tao of origin. Fong Ping scolded angrily, "Are you blind?" Qi Huanyu was provoking him. "Although my Tao of origin is a little dark, it's so wide. It's also close to 100 meters long. Can't you see it? What's with that look? I'll kill you today. I can't reveal my Tao of origin so easily, lest others find out that I've become so powerful not too far away." As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping wielded his Chang Dao and attacked Qi Huanyu quickly. Not only that, this time he wanted to take a closer look at this guy's Tao. He wanted to see if this guy's Tao had any flaws. There was no such thing as a flawless Tao. If he found it, perhaps he could take the opportunity to kill the Life King. Both of their source worlds moved closer in an instant. This time, Fong Ping did not crash into him. He did not have any restorative divine fruits now. Unless it was the last resort, he did not want to do so, lest he hurt himself. In the source world, Fong Ping and Qi Huanyu were fighting nonstop. In the real world, Fong Ping, on the other hand, was being beaten by Brown Bear until golden blood spurted out and his bones were broken. After all, Brown Bear was a true god. Even if he was severely injured, he was still a physique Tao powerhouse. Fong Ping's golden body was not enough, especially now that he was multitasking. That was even worse. His reaction was a beat slower. His speed was a beat slower. Although Brown Bear was big, his reflexes were extremely agile. He circled Fong Ping and threw punches and kicks at the same time. Every punch and kick brought along a series of rumbles, causing the surrounding void to vibrate. Fong Ping was like a rag doll, beaten to a pulp and sent flying everywhere. Fong Ping, Kong Lingyuan roared furiously. The ribs of his fan exploded. With a loud roar, a rank 9 powerhouse was shot into a sieve like a shower of petals falling from the sky. There were originally about 100 people on Qi Huanyu's side. Fong Ping killed many more people. Brown Bear and the rest had also killed a few before this. There were still more than 10 rank 9 powerhouses waiting in the distance, fully focused on providing energy for Qi Huanyu. Not only that, there were still 7 or 8 people protecting them. In this way, the number of powerhouses participating in the battle was equal to that of the humans and overseas immortal islands. However, the number of top-notch powerhouses was less than that of the human side. In addition to the previous losses, they were completely at a disadvantage when they were fighting now. In the beginning, 500 rank 9s entered. Later, 300 rank 9s entered, 800 rank 9s. Until now, there were less than 100 people left alive. At this moment, they were actually being suppressed by the humans. Kong Lingyuan was powerful, but the others were not. This time, Jiang Ke did not continue fighting. Instead, he let 2 Weiyu mountain powerhouses protect him. Sitting cross-legged in the void, he also had his eyes on a rank 9. In the blink of an eye, he dragged the other party into the source world. He was much more experienced than Fong Ping. At this moment, the powerhouse who was dragged away by him was instantly targeted by 2 Weiyu mountain powerhouses. They quickly charged toward the powerhouse, whose eyes were glazed. When pulling someone into the source world, either the other party had the same intention or your mentality and origin were stronger than the other party's. Otherwise, you would not be able to pull someone in. When entering someone else's source world, it was also extremely dangerous for the physical body. On the catacomb side, there were not many who knew this kind of fighting style. This person was suddenly pulled away. Before the others could react, he himself did not even have time to react. In the blink of an eye, his body was destroyed by 2 powerhouses. Although his physical body was destroyed, his origin was not. At this moment, this person was still in Jiang Kuei's source world. But when his physical body was destroyed, his origin was greatly damaged. In an instant, he was extremely weak. Almost in the blink of an eye, Jiang Kui opened his eyes and had already destroyed the other party's weakened origin. This was the fearsomeness of experts in the path of mental strength. Their source worlds were even more powerful than the experts of the way of the body. This was because some of them had integrated their own materialization, which would strengthen the source world. Moreover, mentality and the source worlds were closely related. At this moment, Jiang Kui also demonstrated the strength of his ranking on the wind cloud list. A rank 7 origin martial artist was almost killed by him in the blink of an eye. Although there was someone cooperating, it also proved that mentality Dao was not weaker than physique Dao. Be careful. A catacombs powerhouse roared, "Immortal God, block. Don't enter his source world. Someone attack his body." Someone quickly organized a powerhouse and attacked Jiang Kui. Jiang Kui snorted coldly and shouted, "Weiyu mountain disciples, protect me." As soon as he said that, 30 rank 9 Weiyu mountain powerhouses came in. The remaining 7 or 8 people quickly rushed over and started fighting with the people outside. As for Jiang Kui, he targeted the Sky Plant Dynasty Palace Lord Powerhouse who gave the order earlier. His eyes wandered, and he grunted a few times. In the blink of an eye, he fell into a deep sleep with the other party. This person was indeed powerful. Although his eyes were blank, there was still a trace of willpower outside. He said weakly, "Protect my body and wait for me to kill him." As soon as he finished speaking, there was complete silence. The 2 powerhouses had already entered the source world to fight. On one side, Jiang Kui led the Weiyu Mountain people in a fierce battle. On the other side, Yu Wuhua, Li Wuji, and the others were also shouting. On the overseas Immortal Islands, these emperor-level powerhouses' heirs and descendants had now revealed their final trump cards and techniques. Yu Wuhua wielded a long sword and shouted, "Immortal Quest Island disciples, get into formation." In the blink of an eye, several Immortal Quest Island powerhouses seemed to have merged into one. Their golden bodies were changing. Different from the other energy converging, these people seemed to have turned themselves into weapons, fusing with Yu Wuhua's longsword. A giant longsword appeared, incomparably sharp. Yu Wuhua's height also grew in the blink of an eye. The woman who looked frail earlier was now like a god who had descended to the world. Immortal Quest. A faint light flashed, like the illumination of moonlight. The sword slashed out. 2 rank 9s could not dodge in time, and their golden bodies were instantly cut into countless pieces. On the other side, Li Wuji also roared. His body expanded, reaching 100 meters tall, and his 4 hooves trampled down. Beside him, a true dragon also grew in size, its tail sweeping in all directions. At this juncture, none of the experts would hide their strength any longer. In reality, when they faced danger outside, they did not unleash their full strength, because they were all waiting for an opportunity, waiting for the great sealing array to break. The Heavenly Court army could not hold on for long. They still had the confidence to escape at the last moment. Humans were the only ones who knew nothing about this. At that time, everyone was in despair and fought with their lives on the line. But now, the treasure had appeared. What else was there to hide? These people unleashed their strength. They could not wait to kill all these people and go to Fong Ping's side. As for whether to help Fong Ping or snatch the treasure, it was hard to say. The massacre had been going on all this time. There were people dying on both sides. More and more people were dying. At this moment, more than 10 people from the Heavenly Court army were doing their best to integrate energy to support Qi Huanyu. But now, they were all vomiting blood. Some people's heads exploded. Their origin paths appeared and shattered in the blink of an eye. Bang! 2 rank 9 powerhouses died on the spot. Temple Master. The others looked at the 3 people fighting in the distance. At this moment, Qi Huanyu was sitting cross-legged in the void. His flesh began to crack, as if he was struggling to break free. His forehead was full of sweat. This was unbelievable for a top-notch rank 9. He was sweating. Among the 3 of them, Qi Huanyu was the weakest. At this moment, he was fighting Fong Ping in the source world. He was already at a disadvantage, implicating people from the Heavenly Court army. However, compared to Qi Huanyu, Fong Ping was not much better. His golden body had cracked a few times. At this moment, his golden body was dim, not as bright as before. Brown Bear's pair of iron fists beat Fong Ping until he wished he was dead. However, Brown Bear seemed to be getting weaker as the battle went on. At this moment, he was also panting heavily. He wanted to curse. Hard to kill. Although Fong Ping was not a true god, he was really hard to kill. He had almost destroyed the other party's golden body a few times, but the other party's recovery speed was too fast. However, what made Brown Bear somewhat relieved was that Fong Ping's recovery speed had also slowed down. It was not as fast as before. This time, Fong Ping did not pretend. His recovery speed had really slowed down. Even if he had enough imperishable substance, being injured repeatedly was somewhat damaging to his core. However, Fong Ping still gritted his teeth. He would grind them down. Today, he would grind a few people to death. As for whether he would grind them to death first, or he would grind them to death first, he would find out in the end. Big Black Bear, are you scratching an itch for me? Fong Ping saw that Brown Bear seemed to have the intention of killing the others first, so he instantly made a sarcastic remark. You're also a true god powerhouse? Trash is trash. No wonder you were sent here to be a gatekeeper. No, you're worse than a gatekeeper. At least watchdogs have something to eat. You don't even have food to eat. You're worse than a dog. You're asking for it? Brown Bear's eyes glinted fiercely. Suddenly, he broke through the air and grabbed Fong Ping's arm. With a roar, he tore Fong Ping's arm apart in an instant. Fong Ping's left arm was broken, but he was still extremely fierce. Holding a saber in his right hand, he pierced through his abdomen. This was Fong Ping's first time piercing through Brown Bear's flesh. Brown Bear roared angrily and swung his fist downwards. Crack! Fong Ping's right arm was smashed off. Fong Ping was just about to counterattack when his eyes became slightly dazed. On the other side, Qi Huanyu also roared. In the source world, he suddenly erupted and pierced Fong Ping with his spear. The battle was getting more and more intense. Qi Huanyu was not having a good time either. Fong Ping had beheaded him with one slash. Qi Huanyu was fine, but someone from the Heaven's Mandate Army died on the spot again. Fong Ping was fighting on two fronts and was also heavily injured. At this moment, Brown Bear punched his head again. Bang! This was the first time Fong Ping's head was smashed by someone. Fong Ping retreated quickly. His head slowly grew out. It was extremely horrifying. Phew, Fong Ping panted violently. He was also feeling a little weak. At this moment, a sudden scream came from the other side. Kong Lingyuan and the rest also went crazy. They killed many opponents. 5 or 6 human powerhouses quickly rushed into the Heaven's Mandate Army's camp. Puff! Qi Huanyu's figure trembled. As the Heaven's Mandate Army was under pressure, the strength in his body began to fade gradually. Fong Ping laughed out loud. In the source world, he went crazy again. He drove the floating island directly toward Qi Huanyu. Crack! In the real world, Qi Huanyu's golden body also began to crack. As Fong Ping attacked, the Heaven's Mandate Army had no choice but to erupt their energy again to support Qi Huanyu. However, in this case, they would have to face the crazy Kong Lingyuan and the rest. Kill! Li Daong slashed with the sky-piercing sword, sending a person's head flying. Behind him, a Heaven's Mandate Army also pierced his head with a spear. It was extremely tragic. In the next moment, Kong Lingyuan erupted again, tearing the ambusher apart. Blood splattered, and the golden body shattered. The legendary powerhouses with indestructible golden bodies died miserably at this moment. In a short period of time, both sides had lost more than 50 rank 9s. There were casualties on both sides, but more than 80% of the rank 9s in the catacombs were dead. Without Qi Huanyu, and with the Heaven's Mandate Army pinned down, they were no match for the humans' joint forces. In the blink of an eye, almost half of them were killed. Just when Brown Bear was about to smash Fong Ping's head again, his ears suddenly twitched. At this moment, someone actually sent him a voice transmission. Earth Demon True Lord, don't kill Fong Ping. Brown Demon was slightly stunned. Oracle? Why? Brown Bear also sent a voice transmission. He had already noticed who was sending the voice transmission. He quickly asked, "Are you the Divine Sex Oracle?" "I'm the Divine Sex Wind-Watching Oracle." The man quickly exchanged a secret signal with Brown Bear, and then said, "Don't kill Fong Ping." As for the Gate of All Living Beings, Lord Sect Protector had previously ordered that if Fong Ping really seized it, it should be left in the human world. Left for them? Brown Bear was a little angry. The Gate of All Living Beings should be left to the human world martial artists? Yes, this is the Lord Sect Protector's order. This time, the human world will be destroyed. The Gate of All Living Beings is the catalyst. Earth Demon True Lord, please follow the order. Damn, he killed Mingyu and Faceless, and you want me to let him go? Sir, the Wind-Watching Oracle said sternly, this is the Divine Sex Order. But there is no need to be too deliberate. The Divine Sect did not expect that the Gate of All Living Beings would fall into Fong Ping's hands. But since it has come to this, we will act according to the Divine Sex Order. It was indeed unexpected that the Gate of All Living Beings fell into Fong Ping's hands. However, the Divine Sect had many plans, including the possibility of this happening. Since it had come to this, then the Gate of All Living Beings should be handed over to Fong Ping. Humph! Brown Bear snorted with mentality. At this time, the Wind Observer said quickly, Fong Ping will definitely die, and this time, when he goes out, he will definitely die. Sir, please calm down. The most important thing now is to rescue True Lord Di Qiao. The Divine Sect urgently needs the return of the Masters. We can't afford any more losses. 2 of the 4 True Lords had died. If Chong Qingzi died now, it would be a great loss. While he was speaking, Fong Ping and Qi Huanyu suddenly spat out blood. Fong Ping's eyes dimmed, and he fell to the ground almost at the same time as Qi Huanyu. In the blink of an eye, Fong Ping's aura dissipated. Seeing this, Brown Bear looked at the Gate of All Living Beings that had fallen to the ground. He was dumbfounded. The God Messenger had just said not to kill Fong Ping and not to seize the Gate of All Living Beings, but now Fong Ping was dead. He could not just stand by and watch, could he? Brown Bear did not say much and fell to the ground. At this moment, the Wind Observer's mentality was in a rush. He shouted quickly, "Sir, retreat." Brown Bear did not know. But how could he not know? Fong Ping had concealed his aura, and the 3 realms knew. Only people like Brown Bear, who had been here for thousands of years, knew nothing. But it was too late. Just now, Fong Ping had felt that something was wrong with Brown Bear's attack power. It had suddenly become much weaker. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Fong Ping had quickly fought with Qi Huanyu in the Source World, blowing up half of Qi Huanyu's floating island and severely injuring him. Although he was also injured, it was not as serious as he had shown. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Fong Ping wanted to catch Brown Bear off guard. In the blink of an eye, his aura dissipated. Martial artists who did not know would never have thought that Fong Ping could do this. He was just bullying Brown Bear. These people had not been out for thousands of years and did not know anything. As far as they knew, there was probably no one else who could do this. As for the Catacombs martial artists earlier, Fong Ping had also concealed his aura. However, the situation was chaotic. His clones and his aura were still there. Brown Bear might not have sensed it clearly. Coupled with the temptation of the Gate of All Living Beings, he did not believe that Brown Bear would not be stunned. As it turned out, Brown Bear was indeed stunned for a moment. He quickly landed and wanted to take the Gate of All Living Beings. The moment the Wind Observer's voice came out, Fong Ping glanced in that direction. This time, the Wind Observer's mentality fluctuated violently. Fong Ping also noticed something unusual. He seemed to know who the God Messenger was. However, at this time, he could not care less about the other party. The moment Brown Bear landed, Fong Ping silently unleashed his mentality to the extreme, turning it into a thin needle and piercing it between Brown Bear's eyebrows. At the same time, a large amount of imperishable substance in Fong Ping's body erupted. His vitality erupted to the extreme. A Changdao in his hand condensed in the blink of an eye. He gathered all his strength and slashed at Brown Bear's head. Roar! Brown Bear's mentality was severely damaged. He roared, his eyes bloodshot. At this moment, it was too late to retreat. He punched both fists at Fong Ping. Boom! With a loud bang, half of Fong Ping's flesh was blown up. However, at this moment, the saber also fell, splitting Brown Bear in half. Fong Ping's lower body had disappeared, but it grew back quickly. Without a word, the Changdao in his hand appeared again. With a loud roar, he quickly charged at Brown Bear, who had been split in half. Buzz! The Changdao exploded again. With another slash, half of Brown Bear's body was smashed into pieces. The other half of the body screamed, but it did not escape. The other half of the body attacked Fong Ping, waving its fists and hitting Fong Ping's golden body continuously. At this moment, both of them were in a killing frenzy. It was extremely tragic. At this moment, Qi Huanyu seemed to be waking up. Fong Ping had not forgotten about him. When he saw this scene, he cursed in his heart. At this critical moment, Qi Huanyu was causing trouble for him again. If he did not kill him this time, he would be letting down those who had died down. Mother Ker, you're forcing me. Fong Ping threw out a dozen or so balls of imperishable substance again. His mentality slice some more. Crack. Fong Ping seemed to sense something different. At this moment, the world seemed to be less clear than before. His mentality had dropped 10,000 kilograms. However, it was not useless. A dozen or so clones attacked Qi Huanyu quickly. Qi Huanyu, who had just woken up, was also heavily injured and could not break away for a while. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly rushed forward and hugged the other half of the body. Completely ignoring the other's counterattack, he kicked wildly. Rumble, a large amount of flesh and blood burst out. Fong Ping was extremely fierce. His head also hit the other half of the other's head crazily. Crack! Half of Man Xiong's head exploded again, but his voice was full of resentment. You want to kill me? It's not that easy. As soon as he finished speaking, there was a rumble. Half of the golden body exploded. Fong Ping's newly recovered golden body exploded again, but he laughed wildly. Competing to be more ruthless? You're not qualified. Come on. Having said that, below the head, the golden body separated directly. Other than the head, the broken golden body exploded with a bang. In the void, Man Xiong, who had condensed a mentality body, thought that by exploding his golden body, the other party would more or less give him some time when he was injured. He did not expect Fong Ping to be ruthless. He might as well go straight to the point and explode half of his golden body directly. An earth-shattering explosion sounded. Man Xiong's illusory mentality body exploded almost instantly. No! Resentment, angry roars, unwillingness at this moment. It rang throughout the battlefield. Rumble! The space battlefield shook violently. 3 true gods had fallen in a row. The Tao seemed to have the intention of spreading in. In the void, Man Xiong's mentality body disappeared in the blink of an eye. Fong Ping's mentality swept again, but this time he did not find Man Xiong's remaining mentality. Obviously, this fellow's mentality was probably not as strong as the other two, or he did not expect that he would die like this. The battlefield fell silent in an instant. Only Fong Ping's head was left floating in the air. On the other side, Qi Huanyu had killed his clone. At this moment, he was also panting heavily, his long spear propped on the ground. For a moment, he dared not go forward to fight with Fong Ping. The third true god had fallen. At this stage of the battle, everyone was incomparably tragic. No one was not injured. Fong Ping broke into a grin. At this moment, it was unusually horrifying. A floating head was grinning. If ordinary people saw this, they might be scared to death. Especially when Fong Ping was bleeding from his 7 orifices, it was even more horrifying. Why struggle? At this moment, Qi Huanyu did not seem to care about the fall of the true gods. He sighed softly. Even if you get out of this place and bring the Demon Emperor's treasure out, I'm afraid you can't escape death. With such serious injuries, you don't even have a chance to escape. Fong Ping grinned. I'm willing. Even if I die, I'll bring some people with me. Humans are just like this. Don't you agree? The battlefield was incomparably silent. This was humans. Humans nowadays. Chapter 983. Three true gods had fallen. However, Fong Ping was also severely injured. At this moment, Qi Huanyu's aura was gradually getting stronger. Qi Huanyu looked at Fong Ping, who only had his head left and was recovering slowly. Qi Huanyu turned his gaze toward the gate of all beings and walked toward Fong Ping step by step. In the distance, everyone was still fighting. At this moment, there were fewer and fewer people. However, Qi Huanyu was not in a hurry. Although the catacombs' powerhouses were at a disadvantage, they could still hold on for a while. Kong Lingyuan and the rest would not come to their rescue so easily. Fong Ping had just returned to his waist. Seeing this, he laughed and said, "Do you think you can kill me now? You'll know once you try. Qi Huanyu, why don't we make peace now? I will think of a way to help you get rid of the fake king. That way, your Tao will be unobstructed and you will be able to advance to become a true monarch." Qi Huanyu smiled and said softly, "Do you think I'll still believe everything you've said at this point? Fong Ping, you're too naive." It was enough that Fong Ping's injuries were more serious than his. "You," Fong Ping sighed, "you're even more naive than I am. Do you really think you can kill me? Do you really think this is all I, Fong Ping, have?" Qi Huanyu was already 100 meters away from him, but he did not act rashly. He was also worried that Fong Ping had a backup plan. Hearing this, he laughed and said, "Self-destructing immortal god? Fong Ping, can you really self-destruct? When I fought with you in the Source World, there were probably many cracks in your brain. Even the Source World was affected by them. If you self-detonate again, I won't even need to kill you. You'll die on your own." "You even know about this?" Fong Ping laughed, then sighed. "You're right. I really can't self-destruct anymore. If I self-destruct again, I'm afraid I'll die before you die." But Fong Ping paused. Qi Huanyu was extremely vigilant and stopped in his tracks again. "But you're always so stupid." Confidence. Even Ji Yao was inferior. At least Ji Yao knows that when she meets me, she should save some money to buy her life. Why can't you understand that? At this moment, Qi Huanyu suddenly felt a sense of danger. At this moment, the two of them suddenly froze. Source World. In Qi Huanyu's origin, Great Tao. At this moment, Qi Huanyu was a little stunned. Then he said in disbelief, "No. How did you do it? Your divine artifact has already been taken by Ling Xiao. Why can you enter my source Tao without my permission?" Fong Ping laughed. "You're more powerful than I expected. You've woken up so quickly." Fong Ping was calm and composed. Walking on this 100-meter wide and 1,000-meter-long avenue, he could not help but laugh. "Did you think that I entered your Tao of origin through a divine weapon?" Outside, he held the god-slaying saber and entered Qi Huanyu's path, almost severing his great Tao. At that time, no one thought much about it. Some people knew that divine weapons could sever the origin Tao. However, they did not know exactly how to sever it. This was because no one had ever owned a divine artifact, and there were only a few emperor-level powerhouses who had seen one. Therefore, at that moment, everyone felt that this was the uniqueness of the divine artifact. However, at this moment, Fong Ping entered Qi Huanyu's Tao of origin without a divine weapon. Qi Huanyu finally realized that Fong Ping's entry into his Tao of origin had nothing to do with the divine weapon. However, Qi Huanyu calmed down very quickly and said coldly, "So what? Without the divine weapon, you can't do anything to my Tao of origin." Their fight was in the world of origin, not the Tao of origin. In the Tao of origin, Fong Ping was only a projection of a wisp of consciousness. He could not do anything to him. Fong Ping was not anxious. He looked around and said, "Qi Huanyu, you're really quite powerful. Logically speaking, if you're not a true king, I should have entered without a sound. It's not easy for you to react so quickly. If your Tao hadn't been taken away by the Life King, You might not be weaker than the War King now. You're really talented. Humph! Fong Ping laughed and continued walking on his avenue. He looked around and murmured, I'm actually curious. What's the flaw in your Tao of origin? Qi Huanyu's consciousness body trembled slightly when he heard that. Then he said coldly, I'm flawless. After Fong Ping laughed, Qi Huanyu's consciousness body dashed over quickly. He wanted to destroy Fong Ping's consciousness. Fong Ping could enter without a sound and not through a divine weapon. This made him feel threatened. You might have been able to do that in the past. But now, can you chase me away? Fong Ping was not flustered. He threw a punch at him casually. Both of them felt a little weak. While Fong Ping was exchanging blows with him, he said, Show me. Let me see what your flaws are. Perhaps not only can I kill you, but I can also kill the Life King. Don't move. I'll leave in a while. Fong Ping chuckled and looked around. There seemed to be some shadows appearing on the path. Master, when I grow up, I want to be like you and become the strongest true king. A small figure was being held by an old man as he spoke in a childish voice. That was Qi Huanyu when he was young. Master, I've become a divine general. Master, I've entered the Tao of divinity. Fong Ping walked deeper as he fought. Qi Huanyu, when he was young, when he was middle-aged, Qi Huanyu was different at every stage. However, he had a clear goal since he was young. He wanted to become the strongest true king, like his master. The strongest. This was his philosophy, an unshakable belief. It had never wavered. Because in his eyes, his master, the Life King, was the tallest, the most majestic mountain in his heart. He wanted to become a powerhouse like the Life King. However, gradually, Qi Huanyu seemed to notice that something was wrong. The Life King was more and more concerned about him. The Origin Tao was a martial artist's most confidential secret. However, the Life King asked him which path he took, how his origin combat techniques were reassembled, and even took his origin chi. In the beginning, he did not understand, or rather, he did not think that the Life King would harm him. He trusted his master. He told the Life King everything. The origin combat techniques, the direction of the Origin Tao, origin chi. He did not hide anything, even when the Life King wanted to pry into his Origin Tao by force. He cooperated because his master told him that he could help him correct some of the mistakes in his martial arts cultivation. He believed it. At that time, he was high-spirited. At that time, he was extremely powerful. Even though he had just entered the Origin Tao, his battle prowess was extremely strong. His Origin Tao was very smooth, so smooth that he felt that he would soon become a true monarch. However, Qi Huanyu soon realized that something was wrong. The further he went, the harder it was. There seemed to be some kind of resistance. His will had never wavered, and his dream had never changed. He had opened the path with his spear, and the great Tao was unstoppable. Why did he stop at that time? The Origin Tao was getting harder and harder. However, he was still moving forward. Slowly, he approached the true monarch realm. At that time, his master suddenly told him to stop cultivating for the time being. The Destiny Royal Court was fighting everywhere, and there were many things to do. He wanted him to go to the Destiny Royal Court as the commander of the Destiny Army and deal with the Royal Court's war affairs. He was improving too quickly, and it was time to slow down. At that time, although Qi Huanyu felt that it was inappropriate, the Life King was the strongest true monarch, and he was also the master who had taught him since he was young. Naturally, Qi Huanyu had to listen. Thus, the Destiny Royal Court had gained an incomparably powerful deputy hall master. The Royal Court belonged to the Ji family, and he, Qi Huanyu, was also from the Ji family. He had done his best and poured his blood, sweat, and tears into strengthening the Royal Court. Even his cultivation had been delayed. However, he was still very satisfied. Under his leadership, the Royal Court had won many victories. Even when facing the Tianji army led by the three divine generals, he was not the least bit afraid. He led the Tianji army to consecutive victories. However, all of this changed when he felt that he was about to advance. That day, the Origin trembled. The Origin Great Tao that he could see ahead of him was suddenly blocked by a wall. That day, there was a rumor in the True Monarch Hall that the Life King had actually taken a second great Tao and had once again proven his Tao. His master was even stronger than before. At that moment, his master, who had only attained the Tao for a few years, had truly reached the peak of the divine continent. However, Qi Huanyu had collapsed. Proving his Tao? What Tao? His master had only taken one Tao, so why would he suddenly prove his Tao? And on that day, his Tao was blocked. Why? He was about to ascend to the great Tao and become a true monarch expert, but his Tao was blocked. At that moment, Qi Huanyu had thought too much. Hate, 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 unwillingness, resentment, madness. All of this was vividly displayed within the quintessence Tao. Fong Ping chuckled as he watched. I thought you really didn't care. Now it seems like you do. However, you're not stupid either. You didn't show it. Otherwise, I'm afraid the Life King wouldn't have kept you alive until now. Qi Huanyu did not say a word and fought with Fong Ping in a frenzy. Is this your flaw? I can't feel it. As Fong Ping fought with him, he said, What exactly is your flaw? This is strange. I feel like you've made up for many of your flaws over the years. You're really not simple. As Fong Ping spoke, his eyes moved quickly. Qi Huanyu, what's that place? At this moment, there seemed to be a smear of darkness at the end of the 1,000-meter Tao. Qi Huanyu's eyes turned red, and he said angrily, Get out. Fong Ping's figure swayed and seemed a little illusory. Fong Ping exclaimed, Your willpower is really strong. I'm impressed. It almost made me collapse, but I have money. Qi Huanyu did not understand. Fong Ping broke into a grin. I have wealth. This was the path that the system directly opened up for him to enter. Otherwise, he would not be a match for his master, Qi Huanyu. In the origin Tao, it was a competition of willpower. This fellow's willpower was not weak. Moreover, this was his home ground. If it was invaded so easily, all the origin powerhouses would have died. However, Fong Ping was special. He was an exception. At this moment, Fong Ping had entered through the back door. He was considered a thief. Although Qi Huanyu, the master, had discovered him, it would not be easy to chase him away as a thief. Fong Ping quickly flew toward the darkness. That should be Qi Huanyu's weakness. Very soon, Fong Ping arrived there. At this moment, Fong Ping saw clearly what it was. It was a scene. It was a shocking scene. Fong Ping was in a daze. After a while, he said, You're amazing. Mother of Astra's cur. How did you hide it? Qi Huanyu did not say a word. The illusory figure had gone berserk and was fighting Fong Ping with all its might. Does the Life King know? I don't think so. If he knew, why would he tolerate it? Is he afraid that if he makes a move and you break down, he'll be affected too? But, Mother of Astra's cur, you're amazing. Not only are you amazing, but the Life King is amazing too. I knew it. Why would Ji Yao call you Grandpa Huanyu? She's crazy. The Life King is her grandpa. You're her grandpa's disciple. You're the same generation as her father. It's normal for her to call you uncle, martial uncle. I can't believe I didn't consider this problem. You look old and Ji Hong looks young, so I didn't mind. I didn't expect this. I definitely didn't expect this. Fong Ping muttered to himself. His face was full of surprise and shock. Qi Huanyu finally could not hold it in anymore. He roared, What are you trying to do? TSK. What else can I do? I just want to know if the Life King will be affected if your Tao collapses. You're delusional. Fong Ping, do you think you can do anything to me? I'll find out after I try. Fong Ping grinned and disappeared into the origin Tao in the blink of an eye. In reality, both of them opened their eyes at the same time. Without saying a word, Qi Huanyu charged at Fong Ping. Fong Ping grinned and said, Qi Huanyu, don't be rash. If I roar now, will you go crazy because your secret has been discovered? Qi Huanyu ignored him and charged at him with his spear. At this moment, Fong Ping had gradually recovered his golden body. He resisted with difficulty and laughed. You won't kill me that easily. I, on the other hand, am thinking about how to make use of all this. Do you think I should roar to make you collapse? Or do something else? I feel that this secret might not only affect one of Fate King's Tao, Will it affect the other Tao as well? Qi Huanyu said coldly, I've long passed this stage. Do you think this little thing can affect me? Fong Ping, you're underestimating me. Is that so? Fong Ping grinned. With a sweep of Qi Huanyu's spear, Fong Ping's newly born golden body cracked again. The new body was no longer as powerful as before. Qi Huanyu's spear was like a dragon, stabbing holes in Fong Ping's body again and again. Fong Ping's breathing became weaker and weaker, but he was still smiling. The more you do this, the more it proves that you care. Qi Huanyu, I didn't expect this. You're quite capable. I really didn't expect that not only did you take revenge, but you did it so decisively. But I think, did you do it before the Life King took your Tao? Otherwise, this doesn't match. Jihong isn't young anymore, right? Before the Life King took his second Tao, he gave birth to Jihong, right? If that's the case, you betrayed the Life King first. How dare you betray the master you admire the most? I'm really too surprised. So all that determination you had and your worship of the fake king are all nonsense. I've always thought that the catacombs powerhouses are cold-blooded and shouldn't care about women. But you actually slept with your master's wife and gave birth to Jihong. Mother ****, this is beyond my expectations. Ji Yao is really your granddaughter. No wonder you call her grandpa so affectionately. She doesn't know, does she? You're really something. Your son actually became a true king, and now you're the leader of Destiny Royal Court. I was wondering why you were so dedicated. Even if Destiny Monarch walked the same path as you still fought for Destiny Royal Court. If it were me, I would have smacked that useless Ji Yao to death. You, on the other hand, protected her time and time again at all costs. It's not easy. Fong Ping's words might cause a riot in the catacombs if they were to spread. Jihong, the master of the Destiny Royal Court, the new true king, Qi Huanyu's son? Once these words were spread, the entire catacombs would be in an uproar. The dignified Destiny Royal Court's true king hall master, the Life King who was previously known as the #1 person in Divine Land, had been cuckolded by his own disciple? Did the Life King know? If he did, it would be shocking. Qi Huanyu's arm trembled. The hand that held the spear was shaking, but he gritted his teeth and continued to fight Fong Ping without saying a word. However, the aura on his body was fluctuating violently. Fong Ping chuckled. I'm very curious. How did you do it? The Life King is a top-notch powerhouse. Can't he sense whether you're his son or not? We're related by blood. Unless you're really the Life King's son? F***CK. That's too messy. If you're the Life King's son, then you and the Life King's partner gave birth to Jihong. F***CK. That woman is your mother? All right, even if you're an illegitimate child, according to the rules, that woman is your mother. F***CK. This is messy. I'm dumbfounded. It's very possible. Otherwise, how could a powerhouse like the Life King make a mistake? Unless you're related by blood to begin with. That's why the Life King overlooked this. Qi Huanyu's expression was ferocious. He said angrily, Nonsense. I've never betrayed Master. Do you believe me? Fong Ping burst out laughing. Do you believe it yourself? You're really something. I've always sympathized with you and felt that the Life King had let you down. But now it seems like you might have been discovered by the Life King. That's why he did such a thing and took away your origin, because he hated you too. But he didn't kill you. He took away your Tao so that you can't enter the true king realm for the rest of your life. He made you stay in this realm forever. For powerhouses, especially for geniuses like you, this is the greatest torture. If it were me, I would also go crazy if I stayed at peak rank 9 forever. The more Fong Ping said, the more he felt that it made sense. He laughed. It's really very possible. Maybe the Life King made Jihong the Lord, the true king, just to kill him in front of you and take away his Tao. It's just that the opportunity hasn't come yet. That's not right either. If that's the case, Jihong might be his grandson. Maybe he really likes this grandson. Let your son call him father and be your superior. When you attend some court meetings in the Destiny Royal Court, Do you want to kneel to your son? It's very possible. It was impossible before, but Ji Hong became a true king. According to my understanding of the catacombs, your lord is a true king. Do you not kneel when you attend court meetings? Of course your status is high. It's hard to say, but I don't believe that all these years, your son has never reprimanded you or punished you. TSK, TSK, Chi Huan Yu. You're detestable and pathetic. The Life King is a true powerhouse. He's vicious and ruthless. This kind of torture really can't be too ruthless. He placed you by your son's side, but you didn't dare to say it, didn't dare to mention it. Ha ha. Fong Ping laughed hysterically. Chi Huan Yu went crazy. Fong Ping was right about some things. Did the Life King really not know? Chi Huan Yu had always thought that the Life King did not know. Maybe he was just deceiving himself? The Life King was really too ruthless to him. Walking on his Tao made him stagnate in this realm for hundreds of years. What not to be a king was a disgrace. What the first person below the true king was also a disgrace. If he had become a true king in the early years, he might not be weaker than King Hua and the others now, let alone becoming an emperor. But he did not. All these years, he fought everywhere like a dog. Wherever there was danger, he would go. The Life King did not seem to be worried about him betraying him. He gave him a high position, the commander-in-chief of the Destiny Royal Court, commanding the entire Royal Court army. Initially, he thought that this was compensation. Now that he thought about it, was it really so? Maybe the Life King did it on purpose. He made you work like a slave, made you suffer for the rest of your life, made you want to commit suicide, but you could not. Sometimes killing a person might not be the best way to take revenge. Fong Ping was full of emotions. This is a big show, a really big show. I think this big show should be made into a TV series. Do you know what a TV series is? This melodramatic show should be broadcast on Earth so that billions of people around the world can see it. Later, I'll think of a way to see if the catacombs can broadcast it. With the sky screen now, maybe it's really possible. Chi Huan Yu, you're famous. If this news spreads, will your son die? What about your granddaughter? Will Life King let you go after losing face? Ji Yao calls you Grandpa Huan Yu. Was it you or the Life King who taught her? I'm really curious. If it's the Life King, damn, that'll be interesting, huh? I don't think you're that stupid. That means it might really be the Life King who taught her. Enough! Chi Huan Yu roared, his eyes red like blood. Yes, the Life King taught him. When Ji Yao was still young, she had just learned how to speak. The Life King pointed at him and laughed. Look at you. You're even older than me. All these years, you've worked hard for the royal court. If you and I were together, no one would be able to tell who's the master and who's the disciple if we didn't look at our strength. Little Yao, look at your master uncle. Isn't he even older than the royal ancestor? I'm afraid no one would care if he called me Grandpa. That day, Ji Yao, who had just learned how to speak, didn't remember anything but this. From that day onwards, he was the Grandpa Huan Yu that Ji Yao called him. Until today, even if someone in the royal court corrected her, Ji Yao did not change her words. Maybe she was guided by the Life King's mentality back then. Damn it, Chi Huan Yu roared. It was unclear whether he was talking about Fong Ping or the Life King. At this moment, Chi Huan Yu's combat strength had skyrocketed. Fong Ping kept flying backward, blood splattering in the air. Fong Ping, however, was smiling brightly. An unrestrained outburst. In this place where energy could not be recovered, Chi Huan Yu had even forgotten to save energy. How long could he last if he continued to outburst like this? Did I poke a sore spot? Was this the flaw of his origin? All these years, did Chi Huan Yu really not suspect anything? Maybe he was just pretending to be ignorant. His most trusted master did not seem to trust him. No, even he himself did not really trust the Life King. The relationship between the master and the disciple, or even the father and son, was too complicated. Chi Huan Yu's eyes were turning blood red. He was incomparably crazy when he fought. Fong Ping could not take it anymore. His golden body exploded again. Fong Ping kept recovering, constantly using up large amounts of imperishable substance to restore his golden body and replenish his consumption. He did not retaliate. Right now, he had hurt his foundation. At this moment, it was difficult for him to recover completely. He might not be Qi Huanyu's match, but he could drag it out. If Qi Huanyu left with his men now, Fang Ping might not be able to do anything to him. But he did not leave and kept on killing. If this went on, Fang Ping would seize the opportunity to destroy everyone in the catacombs today. In the distance, a Destiny Army powerhouse roared, Temple Master! Temple Master, retreat! On the other side, Kong Lingyuan and the rest had already gained the absolute advantage. The catacomb side was about to collapse completely. Previously, there were close to 100 people. Due to the lack of powerhouses, there were less than 30 people left now. As for the humans and overseas Immortal Islands forces, because they did not lack imperishable substance, they had more powerhouses. Currently, there were about 50 people left. If this went on, the catacombs would become weaker as the battle went on. Sooner or later, they would be destroyed. Qi Huanyu had suppressed Fang Ping. Since he could not kill Fang Ping now, he should either go back to help them and kill the others, or retreat with his men. Why did he have to fight Fang Ping to the death? The Destiny Army powerhouses did not understand. The Temple Master was usually not this impulsive. Fang Ping was difficult to kill, but if he went back to help and killed Kong Lingyuan and the rest, Fang Ping might not have the ability to help them. When the time came, wouldn't it be better to kill these people and attack Fang Ping together? Temple Master! The remaining people shouted one after another. A Heavenly Plant's royal court powerhouse bellowed, Qi Huanyu, you're in cahoots with Fang Ping. You traitor! Qi Huanyu was too much of a traitor. At this time, instead of returning to help, he was entangled with Fang Ping. Was it necessary? Traitor? These words seemed to agitate Qi Huanyu. Qi Huanyu's eyes were blood red, and he turned his head abruptly to look at the person who shouted. That person saw a pair of blood-red eyes and was shocked. The next moment he roared, retreat! There were more than 30 people, and there were about 10 people left on the Heavenly Plant's royal court side. At this moment, he felt that Qi Huanyu had gone mad. If that was the case, there was no need to accompany him in his madness. If Qi Huanyu was not crazy, they still had the strength to fight. However, such a top-notch powerhouse had gone mad. They could not defeat the martial artists who had been resurrected. The Heavenly Plant's royal court powerhouses had long been afraid of killing. At this moment, in order to escape, they did not care about the others anymore and fled. Rumble! Another series of explosions rang out. Many of the remaining people were killed in the blink of an eye. As such, the situation became even worse. Temple Master! Someone howled sorrowfully. In the blink of an eye, his voice dissipated as he was killed on the spot. These people could not understand why the wise and mighty Temple Master would end up like this today. Kong Lingyuan and the rest wanted to come to Fang Ping's side to help. But Fang Ping roared, kill the enemies, leave no one alive. Hearing that, Kong Lingyuan did not say anything else. He quickly led his people to chase after those who were fleeing. A chaotic battle had begun. At this moment, Fang Ping was still constantly provoking Qi Huanyu. The more he provoked, the crazier Qi Huanyu became. Gradually, his aura began to drop. Fang Ping, who had been defending without attacking earlier, began to counterattack at this moment. In the beginning, both sides were evenly matched. However, as the battle continued, Qi Huanyu began to be suppressed. Boom! Fang Ping blasted half of his body with a punch. An arrow of blood shot out of his mouth and pierced through his head. Qi Huanyu could not recover even after a long time. He had used up everything. At this moment, Qi Huanyu seemed to have sobered up. The blood in his eyes disappeared. He glanced at Fang Ping with a complicated gaze that could not be put into words. Fang Ping, when powerhouses kill each other, their families should not be implicated. Life King and Ji Hong are both true kings. I don't need to say anything more. Ji Yao is innocent. She has never killed a martial artist who had been resurrected. There are also innocent people in Divine Land. At this moment, Qi Huanyu was completely sober. His gaze shifted. Seeing Fong Ping's fist approaching, he laughed mournfully. In this life of mine, Life King was the one to succeed, and Life King was the one to fail. I can't blame him. But some things are not what you think, Fong Ping. At this moment, Qi Huanyu did not struggle to escape. He looked at Fong Ping and suddenly transmitted his voice. Rao Yao doesn't die. You guys get out. Be careful this time. Divine Land. Two Kings, Grandmaster. All parties might have joined forces. This time, I'm going to kill you guys. Fong Ping's pupils contracted sharply. The true Kings of Resurrection came out in full force, thinking that they could plot against all living beings. Little did they know, you guys are the targets of all parties. This is top secret. Fong Ping, don't kill Yao. This is my only request. Qi Huanyu laughed mournfully again. I'm not a king, but a king. I'm a peerless prodigy. How can I die like this? I should be a king. Rumble. A loud noise was heard. In the void, a path collapsed. At the end of the black wall, a crack seemed to have been forcefully torn open. At this moment, Qi Huanyu's aura was terrifyingly powerful. I'm a true king. When a true king dies, heaven and earth collapse. Ha! A hearty laugh reverberated throughout heaven and earth. Rumble! The path that had just broken through the wall collapsed instantly. At this moment, the color of the space battlefield seemed to have changed. Blood! This was the first time something like this had happened. The true king's death had affected the space battlefield, because he had achieved Tao here. Ha ha! Hearty laughter and crazy laughter rang out continuously in the void. The path collapsed. Below, Qi Huanyu's body collapsed and exploded, leaving nothing behind. I died under the Tao. Fong Ping can't kill me. Ha! His last hearty laugh was heard. The void turned blood red. In the blink of an eye, Qi Huanyu's aura disappeared from heaven and earth. Chapter 984. Rumble. Heaven and earth rumbled, and a rain of blood fell. 4 true monarchs have fallen. A murmur sounded in the outside world. Right at this moment, the Fate Monarch's aura erupted. Energy gushed out, and the cracks in the void in the surroundings became chaotic. Fate King remained silent, but at this moment it attracted the attention of everyone. The aura of the Life King seemed to be declining. The one who died is Qi Huanyu? He achieved Tao? Impossible. Sounds of shock could be heard. Qi Huanyu was dead, and he died because he became a true monarch? This was too surprising. Many people knew that Qi Huanyu's Tao had been taken away by the Fate Monarch. At this moment, a true king murmured, "He's dead." Back then, he was so talented that all the kings in the God Continent thought he would be able to achieve the Tao quickly. In the end, he was stuck at the God Tao realm, unable to advance. He's not a king, but he's a king. He's cultivated the divine Tao to a level no one has ever reached before or since. Some true monarchs were deeply moved. The limit of 400,000 calories. This was the only person they knew who had done it. Who else could? Had the most outstanding martial king of today done it? Not necessarily. When King Wu was at rank 9, he did not seem to be too powerful. At the very least, he was not as powerful as Qi Huanyu is now. Many true kings were martial artists of the same generation as Qi Huanyu. In that era, he alone suppressed all heroes. Everyone thought that he would be able to corroborate his Tao quickly, just like unquestionable Jian during the era of the sections. During those years in God Continent, Qi Huanyu was unquestionable Jian. As for the 3 immortal generals of the Sky Plant's royal court, that was something that happened after him. Furthermore, even when the 3 god generals were famous in God Continent, they had never gained the upper hand against Qi Huanyu. Even when the 3 of them joined forces to fight him, they did not gain any advantage. When the 2 armies fought, Qi Huanyu led the Heaven's Mandate Army and fought with the Tianji Army many times when they were at their peak, but they still won more than they lost. Many people felt sorry for such a person. If not for the Fate Monarch, perhaps Qi Huanyu would also be a powerful ruler now. Not the so-called king of non-kings. Qi Huanyu is dead. At this moment, someone's expression suddenly changed. If he's dead, what about the others? For true monarchs had fallen. Among them was Qi Huanyu, a true king who was almost impossible to break through. Such a powerful person had actually died in the process of breaking through. Were the others still alive? This time, God Continent had 800 god generals. Even though there were many experts in God Continent, if all of them died, it would be an unbearable loss. The blood rain continued to fall. This time, for true monarchs fell. A rain of blood descended. Last time, there were 5 of them. Everyone was well aware of what this meant. Some people's great Tao was too strong, and they were comparable to 2. Needless to say, it belonged to Qi Huanyu. He, a true king who couldn't break through, broke through. If he survived, he might become terrifyingly powerful. Walking 3,000 meters in a day wasn't an illusion at all. Now he was dead. The surroundings quickly quieted down. Qi Huanyu's death also meant that the trip to the king battleground was coming to an end. Since the leader of God Continent's side was dead, the others would probably be doomed as well. The leader of Realm Beyond Heaven, Gu Qing, was dead, and so was the true king left behind by that organization. No one knew how he died. However, if the humans were not completely wiped out, it would definitely be related to them. At this moment, everyone turned to look at Zhang Tao and the rest with strange gazes. Zhang Tao ignored them. At this moment, he was also feeling a little strange. Zhang Tao didn't make a sound, and no one dared to provoke him. At the same time, Ji Hong, who was beside Fate King, had a strange expression. He glanced at Fate King and asked softly, "Senior brother is really dead?" Fate King remained silent. Ji Hong had a complicated expression. Dead. Qi Huanyu was dead. After an unknown period of time, Fate King retracted his aura, and the void stopped shattering. He said calmly, "So what if he's dead? Trash." He led 800 god generals and God Continent to die here. "Father," Ji Hong said in a low voice, "Senior brother has made great contributions to the royal court. In times of crisis, he led the Heaven's Mandate Army to battle everywhere, becoming the strongest royal court among the 4 royal courts. His contributions cannot go unnoticed, but now he has passed away. Fate King was too heartless. That was his disciple, a general of Heaven's Will Army. Fate King wasn't this strong back then. When King Qian was still around, the 3 god generals roamed God Continent. Under the circumstances where true kings didn't make a move, it was Qi Huanyu who turned the tide and led the Heaven's Will Army. That was how Heaven's Will Army was today. Otherwise, Heaven's Will Army wouldn't be so peaceful. If not for the deaths of a few true kings a few days ago, Heaven's Will Army wouldn't have suffered any losses over the years. Fate King remained silent. Ji Hong sighed. After a long time, he said, "Yao Er has been close to senior brother since young. If she knew that senior brother died here, I'm afraid." Fate King said calmly, "Afraid what?" "Father." Fate King ignored him. He looked around and said slowly, "Everyone, God Continent is lost." Yes, lost. Even though Daoist Fengyan couldn't update the death list after entering the space battlefield, they knew that they had lost. Their leader was dead. There weren't many survivors to begin with. Now, it was hard to say if anyone was still alive. Fate King continued, "The king battlefield must be broken today. Since everyone is here, I'll say this first. The 2 kings must not be left alive. Today, God Continent will annihilate the 2 kings. Whoever dares to interfere and cause trouble will be punished by God Continent." I don't care about the 2 kings. However, I want to see the Earthly Emperor's relic in its entirety. I've seen the Earthly Emperor's relic in the past. Perhaps everyone can look at it together. There's no need to fight to the death. Some venerable emperors spoke up. As for the 2 kings, they didn't care. On the peak, Zhang Tao looked around in silence. What's wrong? Zhang Tao was very excited when a true king died. Now that Qi Huanyu was dead, it meant that the humans had probably won. Now that Qi Huanyu was dead, it meant that the humans had probably won. If that was the case, why was he silent? It's almost over. Once Fang Ping gets the treasure, I'm afraid he'll become everyone's target. I'll give it to you. We were going to use it anyway. Battle King didn't understand. This was arranged beforehand. If Fong Ping really got it, Zhang Tao would use it as bait to lure them into the trap set by the cat. Wouldn't that be smooth sailing? Why was he still worried now? Zhang Tao was silent for a moment. Then he said, I've let all the humans' powerhouses here. Didn't you notice that? No one was surprised. No one discussed how to deal with us. Did the Life Kings and the rest expect all the powerhouses to gather here when the King Battleground was opened? They probably didn't. However, they were all here. Although the Life Kings and the rest were angry, they didn't appear to discuss how to deal with them. As for telepathy, it was a big deal. Even if it was telepathy, it would be strange. No, these people didn't seem to consider this. A group of true kings. None of them thought about this. If that was the case, they were already prepared to fight with humans? Zhang Tao frowned slightly. There were more than 200 catacombs true kings. There were only 50 or so humans. But the two kings hadn't appeared yet. Moreover, there were so many powerhouses watching. Weren't the catacombs guys afraid that everyone would join forces to kill the strongest catacombs first? Zhang Tao said no more. He continued to look around. No one knew what he was thinking. At the same time, in the space battlefield, the killing had also reached the final moment. One catacomb's powerhouse after another was killed. Some escaped. After all, there were dozens of powerhouses. Humans could not kill them all on the spot. However, there were definitely less than 10 people who escaped. The catacombs had 800 rank 9s and hundreds of rank 8s who entered the King Battleground. At this moment, even if there were some survivors in the outside world, including the remaining martial artists here, there would not be more than 30 people. More than 900 powerhouses were almost wiped out. These were not the key points. The key point was that the catacomb's strongest person, Qi Huanyu, was killed on the spot. This was a huge blow to the entire catacombs. The first person below, the true kings. Not a true king, but a true king. The commander-in-chief of the Destiny Royal Court Army. It was simply unbelievable that such an expert had been killed without the help of a true monarch. Soon, Kong Lingyuan and the rest finished hunting the enemies and rushed to Fong Ping's side. Jiang Ke, Yu Wuhua, Li Wuji, and the rest were still alive. At this moment, they looked at Fong Ping with complicated expressions. Fong Ping's golden body had recovered. He looked at the place where Qi Huanyu disappeared without saying a word. Soon, Fong Ping looked at Li Wuji and the rest. All sides wanted to exterminate humans? Humans, had they reached this stage? Humans are the real threat to all sides. They can't allow humans to grow stronger because they might end up sacrificing humans. The bitterness in Fong Ping's heart was unbearable. He did not feel the excitement of killing a strong enemy. Zhang Tao, do you know that humans have been targeted by the powerhouses from all sides as a must-kill target? Maybe you do. Otherwise, why would you come up with such a plan? But can you imagine this time it will happen? Right now. A conspiracy. Everything was a conspiracy. Maybe all sides had an agreement. This time, they would exterminate human powerhouses. If the desperados were all dead, humans would be lambs waiting to be slaughtered. They would no longer have any strength to resist. They could sacrifice the humans on Earth anytime they wanted. Zhang Tao might think that it was not the time yet. After all, many forces had only recently emerged. Fate King and the rest had planned to deal with the two kings. But was it really impossible? Qi Huanyu said it was just a possibility. But Fong Ping felt that this was related to the future of all humans. He could not treat it as a possibility. Fong Ping. Kong Lingyuan looked at Fong Ping worriedly and asked hurriedly, "Are your injuries serious?" Fong Ping shook his head gently. He looked at Yu Wuhua and the rest and smiled. "You guys want to snatch the treasure? Now, you may not have the chance. I don't want to kill anymore, especially my comrades who fought alongside me just now." Their expressions were complicated. Jiang Ke said in a low voice, "You said that after you snatch the treasure, you can let us have it after we get out." Fong Ping glanced at him and smiled. "Everyone has a chance. Let's talk about it after we save it. After we get out, Weiyu Mountain's venerable emperors have to contribute. Otherwise, can we really save so many powerhouses now? Fong Ping, promise that if your venerable emperors contribute, I will definitely give everyone a fair chance to compete, Fong Ping murmured in his heart. Would Venerable Emperor Qing Tong contribute? Would Jiang Kuei frowned slightly and said nothing. Fong Ping looked at Yu Wuhua and the rest and smiled. You guys too. Everyone will only have a chance if the treasure is saved. Having said that, Fong Ping turned and looked at Chang Qingzi on the altar. He smiled. Not dead yet. Fong Ping did not go to the altar. He did not trust anyone now. He did not trust the owner of this place either. Everyone, let's work together and kill this person, Fong Ping growled. Without another word, an energy Changdao condensed in his hand and attacked Chang Qingzi from a distance. When the others saw this, they also attacked. They did not know why this true god was fixed on the altar, but it was a rare opportunity. Such a powerhouse was indeed a threat. Kill him first. Rumble. Streams of lifeblood power and energy power shot toward Chang Qingzi. At this moment, Chang Qingzi's eyes opened abruptly and he let out a beast-like roar. Fong Ping ignored him. Since the owner of this place had agreed to help him deal with him, he had not killed the other until now. Fong Ping was already suspicious of his sincerity. That fellow, did he not have the ability to kill, or was he unwilling to? No matter what, Fong Ping was already satisfied that the other party could control Chang Qingzi. He just did not dare to trust him completely. While Fong Ping attacked Chang Qingzi, he searched his mind for the contact cat. Deep in the Forbidden Sea, even the cat wanted to doze off. However, it quickly perked up and said quickly, "Liar, do you want to pay me back?" Fong Ping was speechless. He was not in the mood to talk to it. He said quickly, "The Second King, Grandmaster, and the Catacombs might join forces to deal with human powerhouses." Cat, can you tell Minister Zhang? Cat was surprised. Join forces? Then you're in trouble. They have a lot of powerhouses, and I seem to have found the scent of a few old acquaintances. It seems like they've all come out this time. That town or whatever, they might be in trouble. Heavenly King? Fong Ping's tone changed completely. Everyone had doubted Heavenly King's position in the past. However, the more he knew, the more Fong Ping felt that humans could survive until now because of Heavenly King's secret protection. Now, someone actually wanted to deal with Heavenly King. How powerful was Heavenly King? Second on the Emperor ranking, not counting the cat. He was the real number one in the three realms. Old Zhang used to be full of confidence that he could deal with Heavenly King. Could he really do it now? Fong Ping was worried. He asked hurriedly, "Who?" Heavenly King might be one of the 8 kings. He was a top powerhouse back then. Even Unquestionable Jian was ranked below him. Unquestionable Jian could deal with many emperors. He could deal with at least 5 or 6. 8 kings? The cat muttered, "Is that so? I'm not familiar with the 8 kings. They didn't appear much back then. I only remember there was a Kuan king or something. I think he was the son of the earthly sovereign. I don't really remember. However, I seem to smell something familiar this time. Could it be the 8 kings? Whatever. They're very powerful anyway. Maybe they're here to deal with that old man." Old man. It did not even know how old it was. If it were any other time, Fong Ping would have made fun of the Heavenly King for calling him old man. However, he really did not have the mood to do so now. He asked hurriedly, "Can I tell them?" "I don't know." The cat muttered, "You're weak. That's why I can look for you. But they're very strong. The source world is solid. I'm not Imperial Cat. How can I communicate so easily?" Fong Ping smiled bitterly. At this time, this cat still wanted to attack him. So what if I'm weak? If I'm weak, I've also killed a few true kings. You try. Tell them in advance so they can be prepared. I'm very worried. If something happens to them, humans are really finished. Fong Ping was a little pessimistic, helpless, and powerless. I'm very strong. I've killed a few true kings, but I'm really powerless. I've killed so many rank 9. So what? Once these paragons are surrounded and killed, humans are finished. Blood sacrificed to Earth. Billions of people. Are those people so heartless? No, are they still humans? Not for a long time. In order to prolong their lives and to become emperors, they have long become the immortals that the 9 emperors mentioned. Do the mortals care about humans? Fong Ping was sad. The cat seemed to feel this emotion. It comforted him in a rare way. Don't be afraid. I've already set up a trap. When the heavenly realm appears and the emperor's aura appears, these people may not have the intention to kill you. Fong Ping suppressed the uneasiness in his heart. He smiled bitterly. All right, help me try to inform them. Big cat, I'll have to trouble you this time. When you come back from there, I'll make you delicious food and drinks. I want a lot of food. Oh yes, I want true god drinks. Different flavors. At least more than 10 kinds. Oh yes, I want true god big fish. I want emperor too, Fong Ping said helplessly. Okay. If this cat really wanted to come back, if the plan was successful, it would be a few years later. Let's talk about it then. He agreed without any hesitation, and the cat also had a smile on its face. Does this mean that I might be able to drink true god drinks tomorrow? Will the swindler be surprised to see me tomorrow? The cat quickly disconnected from Fong Ping. It scratched its head with its paws. After a while, it muttered, contacting the pseudo-emperor. It's so troublesome. I don't even know what his origin is like. Sigh, it's so troublesome. The cat shook its tail, closed its eyes, and quickly entered the cat's world. As soon as it entered the cat's world, a large number of fish-headed monsters seemed to act instinctively. They roasted themselves and quickly floated into the cat's mouth. The cat ate a few monsters and dug around in the cat's world with its buttocks in the air. After a while, it dug out a stone tablet. The cat held the stone tablet and thought for a while. It used its claws to carve Zhang Tao's appearance on the stone tablet. After a while, it thought again. The god-forbidding staff appeared. Zhang Tao used the fishing rod and the god-forbidding staff before. Right now, the cat seemed to be stripping the aura. After a while, a wisp of aura merged into the stone tablet. Then, the cat took out the Sky Destroyer and started poking at the stone tablet, chanting, "Poke the pseudo-emperor to death. Poke the pseudo-emperor to death. I'll poke." Outside the king's battleground, Zhang Tao frowned slightly. His expression changed slightly. In the next moment, Zhang Tao's figure appeared on a huge platform. This was his origin world. The platform was huge. The layout was also interesting. Rows of bookshelves were placed here. There seemed to be books and words on them. Li Zhenur's Affair, Nanyan Bagua Collection, Jiang Tianming's Biography, Li Venting Rumors, Fong Ping Collection, Song Cat Record. The books seemed to exist in reality. Zhang Tao was not interested in reading these books. He looked around and suddenly lifted his head. High up in the sky, a thin film like a canopy blocked the expansion of the origin world. However, at this moment, it was being poked until it bulged. Zhang Tao was stunned. What was this? It seemed like someone was poking him in his origin world. The canopy in the sky was like a sticky candy. It was being poked and stretched, but it did not break. Someone wants to pry into my origin Dao. Zhang Tao was a little dazed. Then, his brows furrowed again, as if he had thought of something. With a low roar, he broke through the air, both hands pulling at the canopy. With a roar, he tore a small crack in the canopy. Ah, fake human emperor, I found you. A cheerful shout was heard. The canopy was closing up. The Tsang cat said hurriedly, I used 14 divine weapons to make the trap you wanted. You have to return it to me. Zhang Tao was stunned. All right. I know you're poor. The liar said that he'll return it. So he'll return it. Right. The liar asked me to tell you that you're finished. What second king? What grandmaster? Anyway, everyone is coming to deal with you. Also, that old man, there are people coming to deal with him too. They're very strong. I've said it before. I only set traps and don't fight. I can't beat them either. If you can't come, I won't care about you. I'll find a place to hide and sleep. Also, whenever you're going to explode, just think of me. All right, don't let your imagination run wild. Otherwise, I'll poke you every day until you die. The Tsang cat bared its fangs and brandished its claws threateningly. In an instant, the canopy closed up. Zhang Tao's expression changed slightly. Everyone was going to deal with them? He had expected it, but he did not expect it to be now. The next moment, Zhang Tao's expression was sorrowful and somewhat self-deprecating. So, I've been scheming against you, and you've been scheming against us. I've underestimated you. But now, the arrow is knocked. There's no way out. Zhang Tao smiled self-deprecatingly, his eyes blank. Do humans still have a way out? There's no way out for humans anymore. Ha! We can only fight for our lives in the face of death. When have we humans ever had a way out? The next moment, Zhang Tao's consciousness returned. He looked around with a faint smile. Will anyone help us this time? Will anyone? I don't know. Humans have become the public enemy. What a joke. What have we done wrong? In this world, apart from being independent, who else can we rely on? The human race should have a conclusion. In this three realms, who are humans and who are immortals? Human immortals are divided. Then let me Zhang Tao do it. Zhang Tao seemed to be crying and laughing at the same time. The next moment, he transmitted his voice to the peak of humanity and said in a low voice, "Fight to the death. Fight to the death. Fight to the death." 3 consecutive fight to the death. At this moment, everyone's expression was solemn. Has it come to this? There's an accident in the plan. In the distance, the void trembled slightly. Heavenly King suppressing, Heavenly King walked out of the crack and looked around. His smile was no longer there. Fight to the death. Are old friends here? The atmosphere gradually became solemn. The battlefield of the kings is probably going to open. At this moment, blood rain fell from the sky once again. The great Tao collapsed again. Today, 5 kings had fallen. Blood rain poured down. Zhang Tao allowed the blood rain to cover him, allowing the blood rain to fall. His entire body was dyed red. The color of blood was horrifying. Zhang Tao smiled. Blood rain, there will be blood rain today. It's just an appetizer. Today, the human demon will reappear. P.S. I'm really not a mage by Cheongshir-san. Brothers, please add it to your collection. Chapter 985. In the space battlefield, Fong Ping and the others had killed Chongqingzi. This true god powerhouse probably could not rest in peace. His death was too unjust. He allowed a group of rank 9 powerhouses to attack him without any resistance. He could only watch helplessly as he was killed. If it were Fong Ping, he would rather self-destruct than be tortured like this. Fong Ping, who had killed Chongqingzi, had indeed said this. This guy has been yelling for a long time. He might as well self-destruct. He just had to wait for us to kill him. Everyone was speechless. Even ants were greedy for life, let alone true god powerhouses. Chongqingzi would not give up until the last moment. At this moment, Fong Ping also began to count the number of people. When they entered, there were 65 powerhouses. Now, there were not many left. 48 people. 17 people died in battle. The 4 great true god powerhouses, including Qi Huanyu, were all killed by Fong Ping. Fong Ping also killed some rank 9s and entangled the Destiny Army powerhouses. Even so, 17 people still died in battle. It could be seen that the remaining catacombs powerhouses were indeed the elites of the elites. 17 people. Many from overseas immortal islands had died in battle. Some from Weiyu Mountain and other grotto heavens had also died. On the human side, a few people had died too. Fong Ping had brought 50 Sino Nation powerhouses in. Including Star Town, there were close to 70 powerhouses. These 70 people were all from Sino Nation. At this moment, there were only about 20 Sino Nation martial artists left. About less than 20 Sino Nation powerhouses had gone out. In total, there were only about 40 surviving martial artists in Sino Nation. Almost 30 top-notch powerhouses had died in battle. The weakest was a rank 8 4th level. Sino Nation had never suffered such a loss before. They could not afford it either. Out of 30 top-notch powerhouses, 14 rank 8s had died in battle. This meant that 16 rank 9s had died in battle this time. Fong Ping really did not feel too excited at this moment. 16 rank 9s from Sino Nation had died in battle. There were only about 80 rank 9s in Sino Nation, including Star Town. A loss of 20%. This was the accumulation of new martial arts for 100 years. No, There was also Star Town's accumulation of 300 years. On Star Town's side, Wei Yong, the Wei family head, Zhou family head, and Zhang family head were dead. Many rank 9s had died in battle. Aside from Polaris, many rank 9s in Sino Nation had also died in battle. Fong Ping surveyed his surroundings. A faint look of sorrow appeared on his face. There were some people he was not familiar with. However, there were some people he was familiar with. Elder Fan Haiping, the powerhouse who had been guarding the Magic City catacombs for many years, was dead. After the destruction of the Magic City catacombs, the old man who could not stop grinning from ear to ear was dead. When Skygate City was destroyed back then, when this old man was chatting with Fong Ping, his smile was as bright as the sun. He was also one of the few rank 9s who were over 100 years old. He had spent most of his life in Magic City's catacombs. Initially, he thought that after the destruction of Magic City's catacombs, he would go to Nanjiang to hold the fort, where he would be more at ease. Who would have thought that once they left Nanjiang this time, they would never be able to return? Other than Fan Haiping, there was also a powerhouse that Fong Ping knew, Northern Spear King Wang Yu. This top-notch rank 9 from the central government used to be ranked 10th on the rank 9 ranking list, second only to Wu Chuan, who was ranked 9th back then. And now, he had also died in the catacombs. The Southern Spear King had also perished in a previous battle. Now that the Southern and Southern Spear Kings were dead, Zhang Weiyu no longer had to worry about someone breaking through to the next realm and snatching his title of Spear King. Silence. Beside the altar, everyone was silent. This time, a total of more than 500 people from the overseas immortal islands and humans had entered. Now, other than the few who had gone out, only these few survived in the end. More than 400 powerhouses had died in battle. On Weiyu Mountain's side, 30 rank 9s had come, but now only 5 or 6 of them had survived. On the overseas immortal island side, they had also suffered extremely heavy losses. Fong Ping looked around and did not say anything about this. He said softly, "Everyone, I have obtained the treasures, but now, it's not the end." Yes, it was not the end. Fong Ping said in a low voice, "If nothing goes wrong, once we leave the space battlefield, the Second King's people will definitely attack. Not only the Second King's people, I think the Wangwu Mountains people seem to be waiting outside too. Right now, we still don't know why they're here. Right now, we're all a group of wounded soldiers. At this time, I'm afraid we'll be facing true God-level powerhouses. If it's just one, it's still okay, but if it's a few, can we really get out of here alive?" The crisis was not over yet. It was still early. Fong Ping knew all these very well. Jiang Kuei took a deep breath and said, "If you want to avoid the Second King's people, then it's best to break the space battlefield here and get out directly." Fong Ping said lightly, "Let's not talk about whether we can break it or not. If the King battlefield is not broken yet, once we get out, we'll instantly become a thorn in everyone's side. That's why we still have to break the King battlefield and let the Second King appear. Only then will we have enough time to mess up the situation." Breaking the stalemate was still on the Second King's side. Even if the Second King had really joined forces with some people, even if they were pretending, they would not immediately become enemies with the humans. Therefore, if they wanted to buy more time, the only way was to break the King battlefield. However, if they wanted to break the King battlefield, then they had to get out of the space battlefield. Having said that, Fong Ping asked again, "Everyone, how many avatars do you have left behind by the Emperor-level powerhouses?" "I have." "Me too." The few of them spoke up one after another. On the overseas immortal island side, although there were not many who survived, most of them were leaders from all sides. Yu Wuhua, Li Wuqi, people from Dragon Island. There were all these people, a total of 5 Emperor-level powerhouses avatars. There were also avatars on Jiang Kuei's side. On the Xuanda Grotto Heaven's side, although Xian Huai retreated, there were still people who stayed behind, and they also brought along an avatar. On the 6 Great Grandmaster side, there were only 2 avatars. There were a total of 8 avatars. At this moment, Beigongyan opened his mouth and said, "Before I came, Minister left me one too." Fong Ping looked at him abruptly and let out a soft humph. He was slightly annoyed. Beigong Yin knew why he was angry. If he had used the Emperor-level avatar when they were besieged earlier, he might have been able to save a few people. Of course, more people might have died. However, if Fong Ping had known about Zhang Tao's avatar, there was a high chance that he would have used it earlier. He would not wait any longer. Beigong Yin said in a low voice, "Minister Fong, we need to break the king battlefield." Humans needed to break the king battlefield. Therefore, even if they suffered heavy losses, he did not use this avatar because he wanted to use it to break the king battlefield. At this moment, in the crowd, Zhang Yuanhua said, "Before we came, Heavenly King Suppressing also gave us an avatar." Fong Ping did not get angry again. Breaking the king battlefield was indeed one of the most important tasks of the humans' plan. If the two kings refused to come out and the true kings in the outside world did not dare to take the risk and attack, then the plan this time would fail. It was normal for the humans to be prepared. Fong Ping did not dwell on this topic. He said, "That's 10 Emperor-level powerhouses avatars. Those fellows who died in the catacombs and those who died in the Grandmaster's battle should have brought some with them. Have you looted them?" In the king battlefield, even if these Emperor-level powerhouses avatars had consciousness, they would not appear. This was because it would easily trigger the Chaos Origins attack. Therefore, unless the master used them, these avatars would not appear on their own. When Fong Ping asked this, Kong Lingyuan answered, "I found two, but we're not their descendants or disciples. Just give them to me later. Tell me who owns them." Others could not use them, but Fong Ping did not have this concern. He had seen almost all the people who participated in the previous battle and remembered their auras. Those people were not as strong as him. He could still use their auras if he simulated them. As for the two avatars that were left behind and not used, Fong Ping was not surprised. A true god's avatar might not be very powerful. Even an emperor-level avatar depended on how much mentality was cut. If it was cut less, it might not be as powerful as the imperishable matter avatars that Fong Ping had created previously. Using avatars in the king battlefield was because these true gods and emperor levels origins were powerful and could trigger the chaos origin to riot. Otherwise, the avatar's combat strength would be average. 12 avatars. Fong Ping calculated for a while and said, with so many powerhouses, if all their avatars appear under the chaos origin, it will definitely cause a big riot. But can they tear the king battlefield apart? Fong Ping calculated for a while and felt that it should not be a big problem. Back then, one of Life King's avatars had directly exploded the rank 7 territory. Now that there were 12 avatars, it would not be too difficult to destroy the entire king battlefield's boundary wall. Yu Wuhua continued, "To destroy the graveyard of gods. These should be enough. But now, we might not have the chance to use them." Yu Wuhua said with some worry, "Even if we want to release our avatars, we have to leave the space battlefield. I'm a little worried that the second king's people will be waiting for us at the exit. As soon as we show up, the true gods will intercept and kill us. If they have a true god alive, after so many years, they might be able to temporarily avoid the Chaos Origins attack." Fong Ping laughed. "It's okay, don't worry about this. What I'm thinking about now is how to bring everyone out safely. Since we came with me, I don't want any more accidents to happen to everyone at this stage." Fong Ping pondered for a moment and said, "I'll think of a way to release the powerhouses avatars. As for you guys, I'll see if there's a way to let you guys go first." Fong Ping. Kong Ling Yuan's expression changed slightly. Fong Ping waved his hand lightly. After hesitating for a while, he still walked up the altar. Seeing him walking toward the altar, everyone's expression changed slightly. Chong Qingzi was fixed on the altar. They saw it but did not ask. There was something unusual here. But a true god had been fixed. They were also unwilling to cause more trouble, lest they cause trouble. Now that Fong Ping walked over, thinking that Fong Ping had run down from the altar, everyone had some thoughts in their minds. On the altar, as soon as Fong Ping went up, his mentality fluctuated quickly and said, "Thank you for your help, Senior." Sigh. A sigh sounded beside his ear. Fong Ping did not say much. He said quickly, "Senior, This is your origin world. Can you open up another exit for people to leave? This can be done. Are you guys leaving? Yes. Fong Ping thought for a while and said, can you open up a little further? After we leave, we'll be a little further away from the king battleground. A little further. Most of my origin world is shrouded in this place. It's not too far away. With your abilities, you can rush back in 10 minutes. That's enough. Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief. That was enough. If they did not appear in the outside world directly and were surrounded by those true kings, then Kong Lingyuan and the rest could escape. He was worried that after they left, those people would attack them without saying a word. Then Kong Lingyuan and the rest would be in danger. Heaving a sigh of relief, Fong Ping continued, Senior, Junior still has a request. Senior, do you know if there was a powerhouse's corpse left behind among the martial artists who died in battle? I can't tell the specific characteristics, but the origin is very ancient. Using a sword, very cool. This was what Zhao Xingwu had told him before. Zhao Xingwu seemed to be looking for it. Not only Zhao Xingwu, but the people from Mount Wangwu seemed to be looking for it too. At this moment, the people from Mount Wangwu were still outside. Moreover, the owner of Mount Wangwu was very powerful. Fong Ping wanted to try and see if he could find that corpse. It might be of some use. Ling Xiao took away his divine weapon at a critical moment. He was very upset, but sometimes he had to consider the big picture. Humans could not provoke a top-notch powerhouse who did not make their stance clear anymore. Especially on Mount Wangwu's side, it seemed like there was more than one emperor-level powerhouse. Even if he was unhappy, the other party had saved a few rank 8s and left. Fong Ping did not want to say anything. If he could use this corpse to exchange for Mount Wangwu's help, then so be it if the divine weapon was taken away. Using a sword, the origin is ancient. His voice seemed a little abnormal. After a moment, he said slowly, is it related to Mount Wangwu? You know? Sigh. A sigh sounded again. Do you know back then, why was this place chosen as the battleground? Fong Ping was at a loss. The second royal palace was here, of course this was chosen. Because here, you can... Forget it. It's all in the past. Don't mention it. His voice was a little weathered as he said softly, the person has already passed away. It's useless to mention it. The corpse you're looking for has long been destroyed. However, back then his weapon was left behind. Since you're asking, then bring his weapon out. If you meet Moon Spirit in Mount Wangwu, tell her, the person is already dead. Dead for a very, very long time. Don't look for him anymore. Thousands of years have passed. So, what if you find him? If you find him, will he still be him? The voice's tone was a little weathered, a little lost. Fong Ping's gaze moved slightly. Listening to these words, could it be that this owner was the one he was looking for? It couldn't be. Mount Wangwu's owner was called Moon Spirit. According to this person, could it be that Moon Spirit was looking for her Tao partner? Yu Wuhua had said before that Moon Spirit's Tao partner was the son of a sovereign. He also had an elder brother who was one of the 8 kings. If that was the case, Moon Spirit's Tao partner would not be too weak. The son of a sovereign should at least have emperor-level strength, right? Moon Spirit was known as the #1 powerhouse in the blessed grotto heaven. Then, her Tao partner might have been stronger than her back then. The owner of this source world was also extremely strong. According to Fong Ping's judgment, it was probably the source world of the so-called 36 saints, or even the powerhouses who were one step above the 8 kings. As for whether they would be stronger, he could not judge. If that was the case, it might really be the case. The owner of this place is that person? Don't you know Mount Wangwu? That's true. This person's consciousness seems to have just recovered. Back then, even if Moon Spirit came, she might not be able to see anything. Just as Fong Ping was thinking about this, below the altar, a thin sword as thin as a cicada's wings suddenly shot out violently. Fong Ping dodged it hurriedly, but when he saw that the long sword did not have any murderous aura, only then did he grab it. As soon as he got it, Fong Ping's gaze moved again. He asked hurriedly, is this a divine weapon? It's not a divine weapon. The voice explained, this is an emperor-level demon god from Misery Sea. When its lifespan reached its end, it used its own body as a material to forge an emperor weapon. Divine weapon, emperor weapon, divine weapon. Divine weapon is the weapon used by true gods. Fong Ping nodded slightly. When humans referred to divine weapons, they were referring to weapons used by rank 7 and above. It was not a big deal for ancient martial artists to call the weapons used by true gods divine weapons. Fong Ping caressed the long sword gently. The long sword seemed to be dead silent. The voice said again, divine weapons, emperor weapons, and divine weapons all need to be sacrificially refined. The sacrificially refinement has to become one with one's own origin. Only then can one command it with ease, eliminating the original aura of origin. This is the true unity of man and weapon. This sword has not been sacrificially refined for many years. It has long lost its sharpness. The voice paused. Young friend, it's best if you can give this sword to Moon Spirit. It's not that I don't want to give it to you, but someone knows this sword. It's the sword owner's great enemy in the past. It's easy to attract trouble, Fong Ping said. Of course, if it's possible, I will give it to the owner of Mount Wangwu. However, if the other party is my enemy, Fong Ping will not lie to you, senior. I will not give her an emperor weapon. The voice in the dark did not say anything. No one would give an emperor weapon to the enemy. Of course, it did not exclude the possibility that some people would cultivate stupidly and insist on fulfilling their promises. After talking about these, Fong Ping said, Senior, I'll have to trouble you then. Where can the exit be opened? Right here. The location where the altar is built is where the core of my source world is. Later, all of you stand on the altar. I will open a passage for all of you to leave. Thank you, Senior, for your help. Fong Ping thanked him again. As for whether the owner of this place would secretly harm the people who were sent away, he could not do anything about it now. He had to make every possible effort. Since this owner had given him a long sword, the possibility of him deliberately killing them now was not too high. It was better than going out and facing the two king's people. Of course, he would not leave. At this moment, Fong Ping was recuperating rapidly. He did not plan to leave. If he, who was carrying the gate of all beings, left with Kong Lingyuan and the rest, he would immediately bring trouble to these people. The others could leave, but he could not. Moreover, Fong Ping did not plan to leave either. Although his current combat strength was not as good as a true god's, in the face of such a crisis, he could not just stand by and watch. Even if he could hold up a true god for a while, it would be considered as doing his best. If humanity was really destroyed, he could not escape. He was a must-kill target for many people. If humanity was not destroyed, then he would not die either. At least old Zhang and the rest would help him block those top-notch powerhouses. After a while, Fong Ping walked down from the altar. Without looking at Zhang Kuei and the rest, Fong Ping gave Kong Lingyuan a look. Kong Lingyuan's eyes were solemn as he followed Fong Ping to the side. The two of them looked at each other. Fong Ping transmitted his voice. Later, Elder Kong will leave with the remaining people. Remember, after you leave, stay a certain distance away from the grand battlefield. When that time comes, I will break the grand battlefield so that others will not be interested in hunting you down. Seeing that Kong Lingyuan was about to speak, Fong Ping raised his hand, not giving him a chance. He continued, this time, humanity has suffered heavy losses. We can't afford any more losses. After Elder Kong leaves, don't return to Earth for the time being. Find a place with no one and hide first. Hide? Kong Lingyuan's expression changed. He transmitted his voice. What exactly happened? Fong Ping gave him a look and said in a low voice, now, all parties are targeting humanity. This time, the top-notch powerhouses all have a slim chance of surviving. Once the top-notch powerhouses are destroyed, humanity will be wiped out. Elder Kong, bring these people to hide. At least there will be some hope. Didn't we already expect this kind of thing to happen? The dead are not pitiful. Only the living are pitiful. Hatred for the country, hatred for the family, extinction of the race. I can't imagine how we can live on like this. But Elder Kong is older than me. I think Elder Kong can shoulder such a heavy responsibility. Kong Ling Yuan's eyes were blood red. He clenched his fists, his meridians protruding. Extinction? Yes, this day. Had they not been preparing for it since a long time ago? However, when he heard Fong Ping say with his own ears that humanity might be wiped out this time, Kong Ling Yuan still felt a little hysterical and crazy. Why? Why did they have to target humanity? Did the weak deserve to die? Then I can't leave. Besides, I'm strong, more or less a part of the combat force. As Fong Ping said that, he added, don't delay anymore. Time is running out. Also, after Elder Kong leaves, quickly separate from Outland, overseas Immortal Islands and other forces don't act together. Oh, right, overseas Immortal Islands? That guy from Sky Cloud Island is from the cult. Cult? Kong Ling Yuan looked agitated. Fong Ping said quickly, ignore him. I don't have time now. I just need to remember him. If I don't die this time, I'll look for him later and find out the background of that so-called God sect. Elder Kong, just be careful. When you get out, quickly separate from him. Fong Ping did not plan to kill the other party now. This was still the spy of the one God sect that he knew so far. This God sect was extremely powerful. Many things were secretly controlled by the other party. Fong Ping did not have time to care about it now, nor did he have the opportunity to do some things. When this was over, if he did not die, then he would have something to say. Since this person had been targeted by him, he would remember him. He even knew his background, so he could plan well. Kong Ling Yuan took a deep breath, nodded, and did not speak. That's it then. Fong Ping said no more. He walked back, glanced at everyone, and said quickly, all of you go out from the other exit later. Leave the Emperor-level avatars to me. Wait for a while. You can leave after I'm done with the king-crushing battle. Having said that, Fong Ping raised his hand to interrupt Jiang Kui and the rest. He said lightly, if you don't want to die, then listen to me. Right now, we're still comrades. I, Fong Ping, will not harm you at this time. If you trust me, then do it. If you don't, then do as you please. After a moment of silence, Jiang Kui and the rest sighed and handed the Emperor-level avatars to Fong Ping. Fong Ping smiled, took the carriers, looked at the human powerhouses, and said with a smile, take care, everyone. Seniors, please bring back the corpses of those seniors who died in battle and bury them properly. If I don't die, I'll come back to pay tribute to these comrades with everyone. After saying that, Fong Ping stepped on the void and left, disappearing on the spot in an instant. Kong Ling Yuan's expression was complicated. He looked around, sighed softly, and took the lead to step onto the altar. When the others saw that, some of them also had complicated expressions, but they all followed one after another. After a while, a violent wave came from afar. The entire space battlefield was shaking. At this moment, the altar split open. A pitch-black crack appeared, and a voice rang in everyone's ears. Leave. As soon as the words were spoken, Kong Ling Yuan did not ask anything. He was not in the mood to ask about this. He stepped into the crack, looked back at the distance one last time, and suddenly shouted in a low voice, humans, never give in. Never give in, even if our race is wiped out. As long as one of us is still alive, we will definitely take revenge. Definitely. Having said that, Kong Ling Yuan did not even look back. He took to the skies and left, 2 drops of blood tears sprinkling on the passageway. Unwillingness came from being weak. Chapter 986. Rumble. The king's battleground shook violently. Outside, hundreds of true king powerhouses looked sideways. Energy rushed to the sky, the void collapsed, and the aura was abnormally terrifying. You want to kill me? Dream on. At this moment, a loud roar pierced through heaven and earth. Above the king's battleground, there was an explosion, and a huge pit appeared. At this moment, everyone saw everything inside clearly. Outside the space entrance, Fong Ping was surrounded by more than 10 Emperor-level avatars. At this moment, these avatars formed a circle surrounding Fong Ping. It was not to kill Fong Ping, but to defend against the strong enemy. Outside the avatars, several true gods attacked together, the smell of blood so thick that it made people want to vomit. Fong Ping, on the other hand, soared into the sky, chaos origin erupting like thunder, but it did not strike Fong Ping, because his origin was already strong. At this moment, chaos origin's target was those avatars, those true gods who attacked. Fong Ping followed the edge of the chaos origin eruption, struggling to fly out of the hole in the sky. But at this moment, a true god attacked him again. Another one. Where are you going? Behind, the cold-looking true god, holding a bloody spear, pierced the void, tore the space, and attacked Fong Ping. Break through the air! Fong Ping roared, turned around and punched, smashing the space. The iron fist and the bloody spear collided. Fong Ping's hand bones exploded instantly, but he used the force to fly out. I walked 800 meters in a day, advancing to the origin with double 9 ranks. You are not worthy to kill me. Fong Ping's roar resounded through heaven and earth. I am a peerless prodigy. How can I be killed by trash like you? As soon as these words came out, the outside world was shocked. Some true king's aura was even unstable. Double 9 ranks, advancing to the origin. Walking 800 meters in a day. Was this not a 9-stage origin? Genius. Monster. A true peerless monster. No wonder he could withstand a true god's attack. Only his hand bones were broken. Ordinary rank 9s would have died long ago if they faced a true god's attack at close range. At this moment, Zhang Tao's vitality rushed to the sky. In the sky, the bloody body instantly evaporated. Who dares to kill my human race? As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Tao held the blood-colored saber in his hand and let out a low roar as he slashed out with the saber. The saber split the heavens and the earth and covered the entire king-grade battlefield. Even though they were separated by a realm wall, at this moment, the true god powerhouse who was chasing after Fong Ping was also inexplicably terrified. He only felt that this slash could slash open the battleground of the king's battleground and kill him on the spot. Rumble! Before the saber landed, the entire king-grade battlefield roared. A palace rose from the ground to meet the chaos origin lightning. Martial King? A faint laugh came from the palace. No one appeared. In the next moment, a giant hand that blotted out the sky directly reached out from inside the king's battleground. It tore through the void and covered Fong Ping directly. Leave behind the gate of all living things. Otherwise, I'll slaughter your entire world. Give it a try then. Zhang Tao was incomparably cold. He stepped into the air and roared once more. Dao severing. Another sky-covering saber light descended. At this moment, the first ray of saber light slashed onto the world barrier of the king battlefield. A crisp cracking sound rang out, followed by a deafening roar of thunder. Countless bolts of lightning formed from the chaos origin source bombarded the saber light. In the blink of an eye, the second ray of saber light descended. This ray of saber light pierced through the bolts of lightning as if it had broken through space and collided with the giant hand that blotted out the sky in the blink of an eye. Creak! An ear-piercing sound like glass shattering rang out. This saber slashed the sky-covering palm directly into 2 halves. The saber light did not disperse but landed directly on the true god powerhouse next to him. Martial King, you got guts. At this moment, a second palm stretched out from above the palace, grabbing at the saber light. Creak! Another crisp sound rang out. One of the palm's fingers was severed. At this time, Zhang Tao's second ray of saber light also dissipated completely. At this moment, Fong Ping was already close to the broken hole. At this moment, Fong Ping could leave this place in an instant. Although the chaos origin in the king battlefield had not been broken, there was a gap. He came out from inside. The chaos origin was not too strong, so the chaos origin would not target him anymore. However, in the next second, something unexpected happened. This time, Fong Ping displayed what was called ruthlessness. Just as a finger of Second King's second palm was severed, revealing a gap, Fong Ping turned around abruptly, tearing the space apart, descending in front of the terrified true god in the blink of an eye. The true god did not expect Fong Ping to appear at this time. He really did not expect it. He was still in a state of deterrence from Zhang Tao's saber light. At this moment, he was still in a state of lingering fear. He had just narrowly escaped. In addition, Second King's palm was still here. He did not expect Fong Ping to turn around and attack him. Chase! Chase your mother! Fong Ping roared fiercely. Holding a long sword in his hand, his speed was astonishing. His sword slashed through the air. The long sword was incomparably sharp. Fong Ping's explosive force was also extremely strong. When this sword slashed out, with a slash, the other party was severed into two halves directly. Being severed into two halves could not kill a true god. However, Fong Ping seemed to have calculated it. With a roar, his mentality forcibly controlled the other party's mutilated body. Like moving a mountain, his vitality rushed to the sky. With a roar, he forcefully moved the other party to an undamaged spot in the sky. In the sky, that was the Chaos Origin's lair. Previously, the other party was only attacked by the aftermath. It was not to the point where he could not defend himself. However, at this moment, Fong Ping directly moved the other party to the place where the Chaos Origin was the densest. Almost instantly, a shrill scream was heard. Rumble! The aura that erupted from the Chaos Origin at this moment was terrifyingly powerful. Even an Emperor-level powerhouse felt a sense of danger at this moment. Second King Palace suddenly fell. In the void, the palm with the severed finger seemed to have turned into a human at this moment. An angry voice was heard. How dare you? How ruthless! Second King Palace was shocked. In this sort of situation, a non-true divinity martial artist actually dared to turn around and cut apart the physical body of a true divinity right under his nose. Then, he forcefully threw the other party into the core of the Chaos Origin. Even Second King Palace did not dare to rush to the rescue at this time. Almost in an instant, the scream was extinguished. Heaven and earth changed color. Tao collapsed, and a rain of blood poured down. Today, the sixth true king had fallen. His death was unacceptable. The hundreds of true kings in the outside world were dumbfounded. Under such circumstances, not only did Fong Ping not run, but he actually turned around and killed a true king powerhouse. Although the other party was not killed by Fong Ping personally, at this moment, the only thought that Fong Ping gave everyone was he was full of guts. He was really full of guts. Under the threat of the Chaos Origin, under the situation where Second King Palace was in front of him, under the situation where the opponent was a true god who was much stronger than him, he actually counterattacked at this time. Ruthless my ass! Fong Ping cursed loudly, but he did not stop. At this moment, he once again left behind a clone. Without saying a word, he fled frantically. Just as the broken palm was about to crush Fong Ping, an Emperor-level clone appeared. Rumble! The Chaos Origin followed, erupting with an incomparably powerful aura, almost instantly exploding the palm. In the outside world, an Emperor-level powerhouse from the overseas Immortal Islands was dumbfounded. This Emperor's clone was used like this? He really did not expect this. Fong Ping's own origin was not strong. At this time, he did not attract any attention at all. Although the Chaos Origin was affected, it was very weak, and Fong Ping could withstand it. However, Second King Palace was incomparably powerful. Even if they hid in the Imperial Palace, with the Emperor-level clone, the aura of their origin was also terrifyingly powerful. Naturally, the Chaos Origin would choose them first. Rumble! The moment Fong Ping left, the space behind him was blasted into ruins. The void was shattered. Like glass shattering, it looked especially terrifying at this moment. However, Fong Ping laughed maniacally, roaring, Second King Palace? Just two old dogs. Life King wanted to kill you for a long time. I've been shouting for so many years, but I didn't see you make a sound, trash. In the sky, blood rain poured down. Fong Ping faced the blood rain and rushed straight out of the battlefield. God slaying. In front of hundreds of true kings, Fong Ping killed a true god. Right now, he wanted to escape from the battlefield. Right above that hole, Zhang Tao stood there with a smile on his face, ready to help Fong Ping. Good job. As expected of Zhang Tao's successor. He had courage, charisma, ability, and means. Under such circumstances, he could actually kill a true god so easily. Even he was surprised. Today, Fong Ping killed 6 true gods, splitting the sky and earth. Of the previous 5, Zhang Tao did not ask. The only one who could do it was Fong Ping, not a paragon killing true gods, killing 6 of them in one go. He said that he was the most evildoer in the 3 realms. Who would dare to challenge him? Seeing that Fong Ping was about to come out, Zhang Tao was ready to help him with a smile on his face. In the next moment, Zhang Tao's expression suddenly became stern, shouting, "How dare you!" With a roar, Zhang Tao wielded the crimson saber and slashed behind him. Over there, a large hand broke through the air, heading straight for Fong Ping. Just as he swung the saber, from the left, a similarly large hand stretched out. Zhang Tao held the saber in his right hand and slashed downward, his left hand punching. However, it was not enough. At this moment, jade-like palms from 4 sides broke through the air. Everyone's target was Fong Ping. They wanted to kill Fong Ping and seize the treasure. The moment Fong Ping came out, everyone knew that the treasure had been taken by Fong Ping. How could they let Fong Ping and Zhang Tao meet up? How dare you attack in front of me? At this moment, a fist broke through the air, shattering several palms in the blink of an eye. However, at this moment, in the distant void, a palm also reached out, grabbing at the giant fist. A faint voice said, "Heavenly King, the gate of all beings is not something humans can covet. Since you've attacked, don't blame us for not respecting you." The person who came was very strong. When the Heavenly King's fist hit the palm cracked instantly, but it did not shatter. During this moment of delay, the other palms had already grabbed Fong Ping again. "Do you think I'm dead?" With a roar, the void was shattered. Warlord's beard and hair stood on end. He broke through the air, his body like lightning, kicking everywhere. Rumble, the giant palms were kicked to pieces. Behind Warlord, a beam of vitality light pierced through heaven and earth. He roared, "I don't play tricks. I'm here with my real body. If you want to steal the treasure or kill me, you'll have to ask me first." The others were not in their real bodies. They were just palms condensed from energy. However, Warlord and Zhang Tao's real bodies landed in the sky above the king's battleground, sweeping in all directions. At this moment, Zhang Tao also shattered the giant palms with his saber, broke the void with his fists, and defeated the strong enemy. Zhang Tao's expression was cold. He shouted, "Since it's a rank 9 snatching treasure, and we humans have obtained the treasure, why do you old things have to interfere? The treasure belongs to the strong. Martial King, can't you see through this?" "I see through it," Zhang Tao shouted. "I saw through it a long time ago. But am I not strong? Is the Heavenly King not strong? Why don't we humans have the right to own this thing? Do you guys decide the rules?" Martial King, in the void, someone said with pity, "Do you really want to become enemies with the powerhouses of the 3 realms for this thing?" As the voice rang out, spatial fluctuations appeared once again. It was not just one person. Many people attacked again. At this moment, Fong Ping was less than 30 meters away from Fong Ping. However, the breach was blocked by the chaos origin, so his speed was also slowed down. Zhang Tao could not help him. If he helped, he would trigger the chaos origin to attack, and Fong Ping might be killed instantly. But the others did not have this concern. That was because just now, someone spoke. The gate of all beings can only exist in the source world. When people die, the source is shattered. The gate of all beings will fall too. This was not said by anyone else but by Taoist Feng Yun. This Taoist who said that he would not participate in the affairs of the 3 realms said this when the others attacked. At this moment, some of the powerhouses who originally had some concerns did not have the slightest bit of them at all. They attacked one after another. They did not care about Fong Ping's life or death. These people were extremely powerful. Once their energy seeped into the battlefield, Fong Ping would soon be attacked by the chaos source. Even emperor-level powerhouses were afraid of the power of the origin. If Fong Ping was attacked, he might be instantly destroyed. Daoist Feng Yun, Zhang Tao shouted coldly. At this moment, many Zhang Tao appeared in the same place again, attacking one after another. Some were holding a teaching whip, some were holding a great Dao book. Just like the day when he killed Grand Peace, Zhang Tao once again split into many people, blocking the attacks of the powerhouses from all directions. Martial King, are you being stubborn? Stubborn? Zhang Tao said in a low voice. Let Fong Ping come out. When he comes out, we'll talk about who owns the treasure. Do you really think that I don't know what you want? They wanted to kill Fong Ping. Fong Ping was too big of a threat. This time, inside the battlefield, a total of 6 true king powerhouses had fallen. This did not even include people like Di Hao and Gu Qing. If they were included, the number of true kings who died was even higher. Under such circumstances, even if Fong Ping said that he had advanced by 9 realms, this kind of monster that walked out in a day was frightening. If they knew that Fong Ping had walked less than 100 meters, everyone would probably attack and kill him at this moment. A level 9 origin with the strength of a quasi-true god was a monster, but it was not unacceptable. After all, it was a double 9 realms advancement. But a level 1 origin, a quasi-true god, perhaps even the powerhouses hidden in the dark were going to attack. It was too scary. It was okay to skip 1 or 2 ranks, but from a level 1 origin to a quasi-true god, it was not a problem even if it was 10 ranks. With this kind of monster, it was impossible not to die. At the same time, inside the battlefield, at this moment, it was not a palm that appeared, but 2 jade-like pure white palms appeared. One palm directly blocked the attack of the chaos source. The other palm went straight for Fong Ping. The 2 kings also wanted to snatch the treasure. At this moment, Fong Ping was surrounded by dead ends. In front of him, many powerhouses wanted to kill Fong Ping and snatch the treasure. Zhang Tao and War King were no match for them. Heavenly King subduing attacked, but was blocked by many powerhouses. At this moment, the other human powerhouses were also targeted by many powerhouses' chi dynamics. On average, every human powerhouse had their chi dynamics locked by at least 3 people. At the back, it was the 2 kings who attacked. Fong Ping showed bitterness. I know it's difficult. I know that humans will face a lot of trouble after taking the treasure out. But I don't know that no one is afraid of humans. The aftermath of Zhang Tao killing Grand Peace had completely disappeared. No one wanted the treasure to fall into the hands of humans. Even if the Emperor ranking 2 Heavenly King subduing was here, even if the Emperor ranking 7 Martial King was here, it was still useless. At this moment, Zhang Tao's many clones attacked the giant hands. For the first time, he showed bitterness on his face and said in a low voice, "Is there no one who said a word of justice for us humans? Is there no one?" I said, "Let Fong Ping come out, we'll talk about the treasure later. You guys said that to snatch the treasure, it all depends on strength and luck. Now that Fong Ping has it, why is there no one who said anything about the rules? 3 realms, humans, immortals, do we humans deserve this? In the past, weren't you humans?" Zhang Tao slashed another energy palm into pieces. Everything happened at the speed of lightning. In the void, Zhang Tao's voice echoed and spread further. The seed of rebirth, the gate of all living things, were all created by us humans. Why do we humans have to bear the burden of the disaster left by the 9 emperors? Ancestors, myths, legends. Is there no one who showed any mercy to us humans? Cries of blood echoed in the surroundings. Were the powerhouses of the 3 realms not humans? Did the so-called immortals exist since the ancient times? Could it be that the humans of today did not have any bloodline inheritances of any powerhouses? Why did no one say a word of justice and do something for the humans? Were the disasters of the seed of rebirth caused by humans? Zhang Tao's voice was deep, filled with grief, anger, unwillingness, dissatisfaction. All kinds of emotions were transmitted. We don't seek immortality. At this moment below, Fong Ping bellowed, humans don't seek immortality. What myth, what legend? They're immortals. We are humans. The path of immortality is heartless, but we humans have compassion. He was unwilling. He did not want to see Zhang Tao begging for help. At this moment, this invincible martial king was begging for help, hoping to receive pity, hoping to receive sympathy. He did not want to see this scene, even if he died in battle. He had had enough of all this. No matter how strong you are, no matter how you beat them fair and square under the rules are set by them. They can choose not to defend, but you have to defend. Don't seek immortality? Zhang Tao looked sad and growled. Is there really no one who shows any mercy to us humans? I'm willing to hand over the gate of all living things and let Fong Ping out. Let him out. I'll hand it over to you. Let Fong Ping out. At this moment, no one knew whether he was speaking the truth or not. It seemed like they did not care whether he was speaking the truth or not. Those who attacked were still attacking, and those who were watching were still watching. As for Fong Ping, he was now facing a desperate situation. In front, a palm had already broken through Zhang Tao and the other's defense, covering them. Behind him, the two kings' palms, mixed with the rolling chaos origin, attacked him. At this moment, a sword pierced through the air, cutting through the palm that was covering them. Li Jun stepped on his military boots, holding the blood sword in his hand, and broke through the air. As soon as he arrived, 3 extremely powerful energy blasted him. Someone was targeting them. Li Jun's body trembled, golden blood spilled from his mouth, but he was still cold. He looked around, sneered, and pulled out his sword again. Just as he pulled out his sword, someone else attacked again. Similarly, from the human side, someone pulled out his sword again. Sword King's beard and hair were all white. He stepped out, and behind him, several powerful energy attacks also erupted. Human powerhouses, regardless of the aura lockdown, broke through the air one after another. They stopped powerhouses one after another. At this moment, Fong Ping could not cross the short distance of less than 10 meters. The wound was healing, and a large amount of chaos origin was gathering. If he crossed it, he would probably explode. Behind him, the two kings' palms were also close at hand. They opened their palms with extremely violent chaos origin, as if they wanted to crush Fong Ping alive. Fong Ping stopped in his tracks, looking at Zhang Tao, who was more than 10 meters away. Their eyes met. Zhang Tao chuckled suddenly. Fong Ping grinned as well. At this moment, Fong Ping opened his mouth, as if he was talking. Be more reliable. No sound came out. Don't worry. Zhang Tao was also talking, but no sound came out. While the two were talking, Fong Ping suddenly turned around, looked at the 2 giant palms, and shouted, I'm the king of explosions. I'll blast you bunch of old dogs to death. Rumble. At this moment, in the area where the second palace was located, more than 10 extremely powerful auras erupted. They erupted instantly. In the outside world, Zhang Tao, Li Jun, Warlord, Sword King, more than 10 powerhouses, their faces turned pale. Right below the second palace, more than 10 powerhouses clones appeared almost instantly. They were all top-notch powerhouses, and they all unleashed their strongest auras together. Rumble! The sky fell, and the earth cracked. At this moment, all the chaos origin in the entire battlefield was converging toward this place. Fong Ping restrained his aura, leaped, and ran toward Zhang Tao. At this moment, Zhang Tao also unleashed a terrifying aura. With a sweep of his saber, the void collapsed directly, and countless energy palms exploded in the blink of an eye. At the same time, Zhang Tao's left hand covered the sky, and a handful of chaos origin broke through the gap, grabbing Fong Ping in his hand. In a flash, he grabbed Fong Ping and left the battlefield. At this moment, Zhang Tao's left hand was bombarded by chaos origin until it was a bloody mess. Below, in the second palace at this moment, a few extremely angry roars came from the second palace. The two kings did not know when Fong Ping had buried more than a dozen powerhouses clones at the second royal palace's location. The clones that Fong Ping released earlier were all other people's clones. Previously, Fong Ping blamed Bai Gongyin for not telling him that he had old Zhang's clones. Bai Gongyin was not here, or else he would vomit blood. He did not expect that not only did Fong Ping have clones, but there were more than 10 of them. Fong Ping, who restrained his aura, muttered, "I'm the leader." This was said to someone who was not here. "I, Fong Ping, am the leader this time. If old Zhang did not trust me 100%, would he let me lead the team? You, Bai Gongyin, are still hiding your clones and not telling me. Will I tell you?" Before entering the space battlefield, I buried more than 10 clones underground. Damn it! An earth-shattering roar rang out. It was the voice of the second palace lord. Rumble! The second palace was blasted apart by chaos origin. More than 10 silhouettes shot out one after another. 2 heaven-shaking auras penetrated the battlefield, their auras shaking the heavens and the earth. At this moment, another roar rang out. Heaven and earth turned dark at this moment. Completely dark. Rumble! This explosion reverberated for more than 100,000 miles. The king battlefield exploded. Chapter 987. Rumble. The whole world seemed to be collapsing. Fong Ping buried the powerhouse's clones near the second royal palace and blew up the palace, forcing the two kings and more than a dozen true gods to leave the palace and unleash their strength to block the chaos origin. But the more they unleashed, the stronger the chaos origin was. Such a contradictory result was something the two kings did not want to do, but it was something they had to do. Therefore, under the situation where so many powerhouses unleashed their origin, the huge king battleground exploded. Light illuminated the entire sky. At that moment, the sky and the catacombs turned dark. But at this moment, the sky and the catacombs was bright. Energy exploded, the source exploded, everything exploded. Under the light, the two kings and more than a dozen true gods roared. Energy soaring into the sky, roaring to fight against the chaos origin. They thought of breaking the origin this time, but not like this. It was enough to make a small opening. Not now. The entire king battleground exploded. Fong Ping, the Destiny Monarch, was extremely tall and strong. At this moment, this powerful emperor-level powerhouse let out a shocking roar. He was not afraid of the chaos origin. Although the chaos origin was strong, it could not kill him. But what about the powerhouses under his command? After painstakingly reviving more than a dozen true gods, one of them was killed by Fong Ping as soon as they appeared. And at the moment when the chaos origin exploded, almost in the blink of an eye, the two kings could not protect it in time. Two true gods screamed shrilly, surrounded by endless chaos origin aura. Crack! The great Tao collapsed. The chaos origin was too powerful. Too many true gods and emperor levels had died here in the past. Although it had calmed down after many years, those who were not emperor level, especially true gods, were the most dangerous. Their origin was much stronger than ordinary rank 9s, but much weaker than emperor levels. As a result, the chaos origin, the chaos aura, was extremely violent, attacking their source world. The great Tao of the origin was almost impossible to resist, especially at this moment. This place gathered the chaos origin aura of the entire king battleground. If it was at a normal time, the explosion in some areas might not be able to kill a true god. Zhao Xingwu had escaped earlier. But at this moment, the great Tao collapsed in the blink of an eye. Not one, but two. Two true gods, at this moment, were destroyed by the chaos origin. Their bodies died, and their Tao disappeared, never to be revived. The rain of blood poured down once more. They had great ambitions and were prepared to rebuild the heavenly court. These experts under the two kings knew that the road ahead would be bumpy, but they did not expect that they would die before they could display their skills. 3 great true gods had perished. There were originally more than 10 true gods that the two kings had revived. At this moment, 3 of them had died, and there were only 12 left. The 15 real gods were the power that they had worked hard to preserve after the battle back then. Even an expert like Hao had no choice but to drop his cultivation level due to the lack of treasures and healing treasures. The two kings spared no effort and used up almost everything they had to revive these people. But in the blink of an eye, 3 people had died. The two kings' hearts were bleeding. These people were not weak, very strong, at least a rank 9's million cal vitality strength. Among the true gods, they were not considered weak. The strongest one even had a vitality of 1. 2 million calories comparable to a rank 9, but he died here just like that. Moreover, these people were true iron-blooded warriors who had been fighting for countless years. Some of the current catacombs' true kings could not compare to them. However, he was dead. Fong Ping, the Destiny Monarch, roared. The Sky Plant King had a slender figure, long hair draped over his shoulders. Looking at his face, one might even mistake him for a fairy who had descended to Earth. His face was so handsome that he did not look like a man. But this Sky Plant King, who was incomparably calm earlier, also had a ferocious look on his face at this moment. They had been unhindered in the 3 realms since the Earthly Emperor Dynasty era. War after war, even in the North-South War back then, they had never suffered such a loss. But today, they had suffered such a great loss in the hands of a non-true god martial artist. The Sky Plant King's killing intent was thick and horrifying, covering a radius of thousands of meters, attracting the chaos origin to envelop him completely. But the Sky Plant King was not afraid at all. His eyes were cold and fierce, looking at Fong Ping, who was held in Zhang Tao's big hand high in the sky. Despicable. He deserved to die. At this moment, from all directions, those powerhouses leaped into the sky one after another. The peak below had long been blasted apart. Waves of aura rose from all directions, incomparably powerful, surrounding the entire ruins of the king battlefield. Zhang Tao looked at the encircled king's battlefield and suddenly laughed. He laughed a little hysterically. Who were they surrounding? Humans or the second king? Before the cat sent the message, he had a slight fantasy that these people would first deal with the second king. But now, was it really to deal with the second king? What a big scheme. What a big urn. This urn was set up for humans. They wanted to kill human powerhouses. Everyone had the same thought. They had reached a consensus a long time ago. They wanted to seize the gate of all beings, and they also wanted to kill humans. This was the consensus of the powerhouses present. There was even a consensus that killing human powerhouses came first, and seizing the treasure came second. Only by killing human powerhouses could they sacrifice the earth and open the gate of all beings. This was the conclusion that everyone had reached after all these years. If humans did not work together, if humans were not so difficult to deal with, if humans did not resist, if Zhang Tao and the others were not strong, these people could still live for a few more years. But they dared to resist. They dared to fight back, and they were very strong. This was the original sin. They should die. They should be killed. They should be destroyed. This is a scheme that has been set up for many years. Zhang Tao looked at Fong Ping, incomparably bitter. This was not a scheme that was set up overnight. Perhaps it had been set up a long time ago. All parties had already met and reached a consensus. However, in the past few years, humans were not considered strong, so these people did not make a move. Now humans were strong, so they made a move. Must the place where the kings fought break open now? Maybe not. Zhang Tao held the Changdao in his hand, put Fong Ping down, looked around, and said softly, "You should go." Go where? You can send them away, leaving one person to carry the treasure. You should go. Zhang Tao said it matter-of-factly. The others would not have any objections. If Kong Lingyuan received such an order from Fong Ping, he would not carry it out either. Even if he would die if he came out, he would not hesitate. But Fong Ping did not leave. Zhang Tao was a little upset. His plan was not so perfect. At this moment, even if the cat unleashed its celestial aura, Emperor aura, at this stage, these people might not leave now. Unless there was a precondition, it was not worth fighting anymore. The price to pay for killing humans was too high. He would go and take a look first. After all, the temptation of becoming an emperor was greater. Killing humans was also for the sake of becoming an emperor. Fong Ping also knew this. At this moment, he quickly transmitted his voice. Let the cat do it now. Maybe it can lure all of them away. No. Zhang Tao refused, saying quickly, if we do it now, all sides are not chaotic enough, not anxious enough, and there are not many casualties. Everyone is very rational. It's very likely that something I don't want to see will happen. Being seen through, then humans will really be wiped out. Once they were seen through, humans would be wiped out today. Outside the trap, these people were definitely no match for the people present. Therefore, we have to kill crazily. Let the Tao be chaotic, the people's hearts confused, and all sides in chaos. We have to fight and escape to the Forbidden Ocean. By chance, the gate of all beings will unleash its aura. When that time comes, everyone will be in chaos. Zhang Tao was extremely rational at this moment. He even had the time to teach Fong Ping. Remember, don't be afraid of sacrifice. You can't gamble on success or failure just to not sacrifice. We can't afford to gamble. In order to make them fall into our trap, we must first fight a bloody battle. If we are defeated, we will escape, and humans will no longer be a threat. Only then will we let all sides ignore this and go treasure hunting to seize the opportunity. Also, remember, in this chaotic world, there will always be sacrifices. You can't. It's not that I'm afraid of death. It's you that I can't die. I'm the leader of the neo-martial artists. I can't die. If I die, the people's hearts will be in chaos. You can't die. If you die, all hope will be gone. Fong Ping, you have to learn to sacrifice others, even if it's cold-blooded and cruel. Zhang Tao's gaze was complicated. He continued to transmit his voice. Therefore, you must survive later. Go back. Go back to Earth. Don't be stupid. Don't make unnecessary sacrifices. It's not worth it. I will do my best to lure everyone away. You must listen to me. If we leave, you will be the backbone of humanity. Otherwise, even if we go through all the hardships and bring everyone away, humanity will still be wiped out. Other than you, they can't deal with the catacombs. They can't deal with the three realms. At this moment, Zhang Tao was really pouring his heart out. He told Fong Ping everything that he could and could not say. Everything that he could not say. People can die, but you and I can't. Not now. This was because they were the leaders of 2 generations of humanity. If they died, humanity would fall apart. Fong Ping bit his lip. Blood dripped down his face. Tears welled up in his eyes. Yes, I can't die. If I die, no one can give humanity the greatest advantage in rank 9. I understand. At this moment, the rumbling weakened. The surroundings gradually quietened down. The 2 kings killing intense soared to the sky. The 12 true god powerhouses were extremely disheveled. They surrounded the 2 kings and stared coldly at Fong Ping's side. They had died before they could achieve anything. 3 true gods had fallen. Not only that, the last seed of the Divine Court army had also been killed by Fong Ping and his group. General Di Hao had also died in the hands of these people. More than 50 human powerhouses had gathered together at this moment. In the void, Heavenly King Suppressing's expression was ice cold. He stepped out of the void and walked to Zhang Tao's side. Looking around, Heavenly King Suppressing said coldly, "They're here. Why aren't you killing them? Did they not say that they were here to kill the 2 kings? Why weren't they attacking?" From afar, Life King said mildly, "Hand over the treasure." At this moment, the catacombs' true kings had gathered, forming a huge encirclement. Close to 200 catacombs' true king powerhouses. In all directions, the void fluctuated. One by one, the emperor powerhouses stepped out of the void. Overseas emperors, grandmaster emperors, and even venerable emperors from a few major realms had arrived. Not only these people, But in the void, some true gods from unknown forces had also appeared one after another. In the periphery, close to 300 true god powerhouses and dozens of venerable emperors. In the inner periphery, the humans had more than 50 paragons. Emperor level, Zhang Tao, and Heavenly King suppressing were the only ones. On the side of the two kings, there were also 2 emperor level and 12 true god powerhouses. This was the first time since the North-South War that so many powerhouses had gathered. More than half of the 3 realms rank 9 and above powerhouses had come. Treasure, at this moment. Fong Ping took out the bead and quickly transmitted his voice. This is a fake gate of all beings. It's a gate of reflection, used to reflect the great Tao. Fong Ping quickly transmitted his voice to explain to old Zhang, still talking to the powerhouses around him. Treasures belong to the powerhouses. I, Fong Ping, am aware of this. However, I've worked hard to obtain this item, with countless casualties. I don't have any other requests. If you give me some energy stones, energy fruits, divine weapons, and the like, this item will belong to you. What right do you have to negotiate with us? At this moment, an venerable emperor's voice was cold, looking at Fong Ping and the others as if they were looking at dead people. What right do I have? Fong Ping said furiously. We humans have more than 50 paragons who are not afraid of death and dare to fight. This is the right. Come on, I want to see how many people can be killed when more than 50 paragons fight to the death. I don't believe that you're really not afraid of death. Humph! A cold snort resounded through heaven and earth. The next moment, an earth-shattering aura spread. Thousands of miles away, someone said coldly, the human world only relies on people like Heavenly King, Suppressing, and Martial King. If these 2 people are stopped, don't tell me that you guys don't even have the heart to fight. This voice came from the direction of the Forbidden Sea. In the crowd, Heavenly King Suppressing's expression was cold, saying coldly, King Sun, I didn't expect this. I really didn't expect this. Out of my expectations, you're actually still alive. One of the powerhouses of the 8 kings. Someone appeared. Heaven and Earth Tremor Sun. Among the 8 kings, the powerhouse ranked 4th. Everyone was afraid of humans, because humans had Heavenly King Suppressing, who was very powerful. Martial King was also extremely powerful, and everyone was also afraid. However, Martial King was injured, and emperors dared to fight. Heavenly King Suppressing. Emperors dared not fight. At this moment, one of the 8 kings who had hidden for many years, King Sun, appeared to strengthen everyone's confidence. Don't worry, Heavenly King Suppressing will be stopped. This dispelled everyone's biggest worry. Humans must be eliminated. If they did not kill human powerhouses, how could they activate the seed of rebirth and open the gate of all beings? You, Li Xuanxie, even want to suppress the heavens. Suppress the heavens or suppress us? I also want to see who you want to suppress. Almost at the same time, the person stepped through the void, instantly moving thousands of miles away. Separated by 100 miles, he stood on top of a mountain. His figure reflected in the catacombs. His aura made some weaker true gods tremble from 100 miles away. Li Xuanxie, if you don't want us to fight, come find me when I kill a human true god. King Sun's voice was calm, his hands behind his back, his aura powerful and ancient. Heavenly King Suppressing did not speak. At this moment, Zhang Tao said softly, Everyone, we humans hand over the treasure for free. We humans will not participate in this battle. How about that? Zhang Tao took the bead from Fong Ping and said softly, We humans only want to survive. Nothing else. We don't want the treasure. Is that okay? Zhang Tao looked at Life King, Li Zhu, Qing Tong of Weiyu Mountain, Heavenly Emperor Weia of Boundless Mountain, and the beautiful female Empress of Immortal Seeking Island in the crowd. Kuokang Mountain's Gong Zhuanzi frowned slightly, taking a few steps back, not saying a word. He did not really want to get involved. He was only here to take a look, to see what the gate of all beings that he missed back then was like. Initially, he thought that the appearance of the 2 kings would definitely cause everyone to surround and kill them, who knew that the situation was not quite right. Not every powerhouse knew everything. However, Gong Juanzi was not stupid. He still felt that something was wrong. The appearance of the two kings, the Life King, who kept saying that he wanted to kill them, actually did not move at this time. This should not be. Even if they were afraid of the other parties, worried that they would be the fishermen to take advantage of the situation, there was no need to surround the human powerhouses at this time. Gong Juanzi took a few steps back. Purple Cap Mountain's Gong Yuzi sighed softly, escaping into the void in the blink of an eye. No one knew if he had left or continued to hide. Venerable Emperor Green Lotus also did not say a word, also taking a step back. However, at this time, his gaze was fixed on the long sword in Fong Ping's hand. Fong Ping had used this sword to kill that true god just now. Venerable Emperor Green Lotus felt that it was a little familiar, but not quite the same as his impression. At the outermost, an illusory powerhouse sighed softly, his sigh complicated. The old man came from the Xuan Grotto. Previously, he was the one who taught Fong Ping and the others the cultivation methods. At this moment, he also felt that something was not right. However, looking at the hundreds of true gods and tens of venerable emperors at the outermost, at this moment, this great emperor was also confused. What should he do? Help the human martial artists? However, if it was really as he expected, it was too dangerous. The combat strength of both sides could not be compared at all. The most powerful heavenly king could originally intimidate everyone. However, here at this moment, there might be three people who could fight the heavenly king to a draw. The faraway King Sun, and the second king. Yes, when the second king easily withstood the bombardment of the origin. Under the explosion of the king's battleground, not only were they unharmed, but they also protected 12 true gods. The Xuan Grotto's venerable emperor knew that they were in trouble. These two people were too strong, not to mention comparable to heavenly king powerhouses. The 36 saints back then were probably comparable to them. The 36 saints were powerhouses who had walked more than 80,000 meters in one path. According to human calculations, the increase was at least 7 times and more. At the level of the 36 saints, their basic vitality was also terrifyingly strong. Probably no one had a basic lower than 500,000 calories. After the increase, it was at least 85 million calories. The absolute peak 85 million calories was comparable to the rank 9's 7 million calories vitality strength. This was the 36 saint-level powerhouses. Too strong. Comparable to a rank 9's 2 million calories vitality. That was the emperor level, and the 36 saints, the weakest, had a vitality strength of more than 7 million calories. Such a gap, if an ordinary emperor level encountered the 36 saints, would almost be crushed. Without 4 or 5 emperor-level powerhouses, it would be difficult to shake the other party. As for the heavenly king, naturally they were stronger. If the second king joined forces, they might not be weaker than a heavenly king. The Xuan Grotto's owner, Emperor Xianji, was a powerhouse who achieved Tao with his physique and was not weak, not the weakest among the emperor levels. However, at this moment, he still sighed and took a few steps back. There were too many people. Although he wanted to do the human world a favor, he did not want to court death. Unless the human world had the advantage, then neutral parties like them could possibly get close to the human powerhouses. After all, whether the seed of rebirth was a blood sacrifice to the human world was still undecided. It was still necessary to be on good terms with the human world powerhouses. However, if they were completely outmatched, intervening at this time would be courting death. Some powerhouses retreated, some powerhouses once again escaped into the void. If the humans handed over the treasure, some people were also unwilling to be enemies with the humans. After all, the other party also had a large number of powerhouses. There was no need for pointless killing. However, almost everyone did not leave. They came here for the gate of all beings. How could they leave now? Zhang Tao wanted to hand over the gate of all beings, just to survive, but there was no reply. Everyone seemed to be waiting for something. Seeing this, Zhang Tao's expression became even more bitter, and he said with difficulty, "We humans just happen to be here, and now we are willing to hand over the treasure. Everyone, do you really want to force us into a life and death struggle?" Fate King glanced at him and ignored this martial king who looked extremely lowly at the moment. King Ming looked at the two kings and said slowly, I am Ji Ming, the Hall Master of Heaven's Fate Royal Court's true King Hall. The two of you should know me. Now that the two of you have returned to God Continent, I only have one question for you. King Ming was tall, and he looked at him and said indifferently, Ji Ming, I have indeed heard of you. Do you have any questions? Will the two of you return to the royal court, or there are other plans? King Ming smiled faintly. King Ming is the founder of the royal court. Logically, when you return to God Continent, you should return to the royal court. Before he could finish, King Ming sneered, no need. The three realms are huge, a mere imperial court. This king doesn't even put it in his eyes. Moreover, the Heaven's Fate royal court today is not the one I founded in the past. King Ming was indifferent, and even a little sarcastic. Do you really think I care about a mere royal court? At this moment, they only had him, Tianji King, and 12 true gods on their side. Compared to everyone else, they were much weaker. However, King Ming wasn't afraid. This time, he and Tianji King were preparing to rebuild the heavenly court. If this was all they had, they would be a laughing stock. Furthermore, there were two Heavenly King stage powerhouses here. Under such circumstances, rebuilding the Heavenly Court was not enough. Two Heavenly King experts were enough to make them the laughing stock of the three realms. King Ming wasn't surprised. He smiled faintly. Since the two of you have other plans, that's for the best. When he said that, some of the true kings had weird expressions. What did he mean? If the two of them returned, they would be killed? If they didn't return, they would just forget about it? Then why did King Ming create such a huge ruckus and wanted to kill the two of them? Of the hundreds of true monarchs, not everyone knew anything. Weak true kings like King Pingshan were trembling in fear at this moment. What were they trying to do? What were King Ming and the others trying to do? It seemed like many people knew, such as King Feng, King Hua, King Tiger. These powerhouses seemed to know everything. But he didn't know. King Ming seemed to be implying that they should coexist peacefully. Just as King Pingshan was in shock, Zhang Tao spoke again. His back was a little hunched. Everyone, do you have to do this? We humans also have experts from all over the world. Experts from several domains. Your bloodline has been passed down to the human race. Do you really have to force us? No one answered. Humans. Zhang Tao let out a sigh, filled with endless bitterness and desolation. The next moment, this lowly martial king straightened his back. His chi and blood rushed to the sky as if he was a different person. From today onwards, the human race will have its own bloodline. We don't worship immortals and Buddhas. We don't worship myths. The human race, everyone is the sky. Neo-martial artists, humans must fight. Fight. The powerhouses of the human race roared. They could only fight for their lives, and fight for victory. Rumble! Heaven and earth roared. Blood rain poured down again. Zhang Tao, Feng Ping, and the others were soaked in the blood rain. P.S. I'm too tired. I can't stir up my emotions. I'll take it easy today, BQ. Chapter 988. Blood rained down. Zhang Tao yelled. At the same time, he sent a telepathic message to the human experts. Fate Monarch plays an important role in this. Li Zhu is mysterious, and Feng Monarch and the others are his minions. Everyone, kill the true monarch of Destiny Royal Court. Senior Li, can you defeat King Sun? Heavenly King Zhun's expression didn't change. He said telepathically, King Sun isn't here with his real body. It's just a clone. It's not hard for me to kill him. But King Sun isn't the only one here. There are a few experts hiding in the dark. Clone? Zhang Tao was slightly surprised. He really didn't see it. Heavenly King Zhun didn't say anything more. Everyone quickly communicated and finally reached a consensus. Break out of the encirclement. They fought as they retreated toward the Forbidden Sea. They were in charge of killing the true God experts of Destiny Royal Court. At this moment, the experts hadn't made a move yet. Heavenly King Zhun suddenly said, "We can't wait any longer. They're still waiting for someone. Yes, these people didn't make a move. They were waiting for someone. Not King Sun. Maybe they're waiting for the experts of the divine sex, Heavenly King Jun said telepathically. Then he suddenly sent a telepathic message to the two kings. Tianji, Tianming, it's better to rely on yourself than others. Do you really think that you can return to the peak with these few people? Any promise was not worthy of being trusted. It's very difficult for you to cultivate experts. Now that the situation in the three realms is set, it's difficult to gather experts. Unless the three realms are in chaos and the various overlords fall, then you can take advantage of the chaos to gather a group of experts and return to the peak. Kill a group and gather a group. Only then will you have enough capital to be the final winner in the future battles. Heavenly King Jun was extremely calm at this moment. He said quickly, I know that you have backup in the 4 great courts. You have people in several great courts. But when you return, you look so miserable. Do you really think that those people will return to you? You might have a group of old subordinates hiding. According to what I know, experts from the earthly emperor god dynasty appeared in the Forbidden Sea. Maybe it has something to do with you. But you've been in hibernation for so many years. Do you have the confidence to make them return? Some of them have even become emperors. Will sovereigns submit to you? The Heavenly King, subduing Heavenly King, said a lot and was extremely fast. He didn't need the two kings to give him any reply. After going through the pros and cons for a while, he finally said, there's someone behind King Ming. King Qian has rarely shown himself all these years. Perhaps it's King Qian, one of the 8 kings of the Heavenly Court. You've overestimated yourselves if you want to snatch something from King Qian. The two kings did not speak. The subduing Heavenly King did not say anything else. Don't overdo it. At the same time, Zhang Tao also seemed to be transmitting his voice. However, these top experts' auras were overflowing, and their psychic power filled the void. No one knew if they were communicating or not. Fong Ping. I'll deal with King Pingshan later. When encountering an expert, he immediately fled. Everyone walked through capital city's catacombs, straight into the Forbidden Sea. The capital city catacombs have been set up. Today, we'll wipe out the capital city catacombs while we're at it. Zhang Tao transmitted his voice while wearing an indignant expression. Fate Monarch, are you really not willing to let us leave? At this moment, Life King seemed to be conversing with someone too. After hearing what was said, he said mildly, I have no intention of fighting with you in the land of rebirth. Hand over the treasure. Fong Ping will kill himself. This matter ends here. Zhang Tao's expression was gloomy. He looked around, and in the next moment he suddenly shouted, only kill the kings of the Destiny Royal Court. With this shout, Zhang Tao tore the void directly, appearing in front of a true king in the blink of an eye. Not only him, but human powerhouses also tore the void at this moment, heading straight for the true king of the Destiny Royal Court. At the same time, Heavenly King Suppressing broke through all obstacles with one hand, capturing a true king and throwing him toward King Sun, who was 100 miles away. This true king only felt that he was completely out of control. In an instant, he broke through space and appeared in front of King Sun in the blink of an eye. King Sun frowned slightly. The Destiny Royal Court was considered an ally. At this moment, he had no intention of killing anyone. However, in the next moment, King Sun's expression changed. With a cold snort, he struck out with his palm. He did not want to kill anyone, but when Heavenly King Suppressing threw him, he actually hit a killer move. A jade-like palm struck out. At the same time, this true king revealed a look of horror. His Tao was burning. He was passively self-destructing. Just as he was panicking, King Sun struck out with his palm. The void collapsed, blasting him directly into the void. Boom! An earth-shattering explosion resounded, and the void collapsed again. A true king was instantly killed on the spot. Since Heavenly King Suppressing had hidden a killer move, King Sun had no intention of saving him. He directly blasted the true King Sun into the void. How could this true King Sun withstand the joint attack of two Heavenly King powerhouses? With one move, his Tao directly collapsed, and he died without a burial place. The moment his Tao collapsed, Heavenly King Suppressing's figure suddenly appeared in front of King Sun. At the same time, another person silently appeared beside King Sun. Good, very good. Heavenly King Suppressing's eyes were cold as he said indifferently, King Jin, you are also alive. The newcomer had a head of silver hair, and his aura was as heavy as a mountain. He sighed softly. Heavenly King Suppressing, are you King Jin or someone else? In the past, among the 8 kings, King Qian, King Jin, and King Li were the most mysterious. They almost never showed themselves. Although I have seen you in the heavenly realm, I do not know who you are. Heavenly King Suppressing, are you still not willing to tell me? Me? Heavenly King Suppressing was not in a hurry to fight with the two. When powerhouses like them fought, it was not something that others could participate in. Heavenly King Suppressing said as he tilted his head to look at the battle 100 miles away. At this moment, both sides were prepared, and they continued to fight. This time, these people didn't enter the space battlefield. Instead, they fought on the battlefield of the kings. In just a short moment, hundreds of true gods were fighting. In the blink of an eye, the land within 100 miles disappeared and turned into a black hole. Heavenly King Suppressing took a look and turned to look at King Sun and King Li. He said indifferently, this old man has forgotten who I am. On the other hand, King Sun, are you the one who has been supporting King Ming all these years? King Sun remained silent. Heavenly King Suppressing looked at King Jin and frowned slightly. You have been overseas all these years? In that case, there is a powerhouse that you are supporting in the overseas celestial islands. This old man is a little curious. Why do you want to go against the humans? King Jin smiled. There are some things that we have to do. Although humans are weak, are they really weak? You have always said that the Earth realm is the strongest, but what is the truth? Wrong. Humans are the strongest. Although there are many powerhouses in the Earth realm, ask yourselves, are they really united? Once your greatest enemy is dead, the Earth realm will split up. 200 true gods will be divided into at least 5 to 6 factions, and everyone has their own plans. So in terms of factions, humans are the strongest. Killing human powerhouses is indeed something we have to do. It's not that you are too weak, it's that you are too strong, and you are not strong enough to suppress everyone. Since that is the case, we naturally have to choose the humans first. That god sect isn't weak either. Heavenly King Suppressing was indifferent. Why don't I see you surrounding and killing them? God sect, King Sun chuckled. I think you should know who established the god sect. If possible, we also want to destroy the god sect first. However, they are too well hidden, and you are in the open. Don't worry, if they appear this time, next time, you will end up like them. Is that so? Heavenly King Suppressing smiled and didn't say anything else. He punched the space and laughed. Go in and play. Can you really destroy the Earth realm? The two Heavenly King powerhouses did not hesitate. They laughed and stepped in, disappearing in the blink of an eye. Heavenly King Suppressing also moved and disappeared in an instant. Kill, break, suppress, seal, attack. At that moment, Zhang Tao roared again and again. In the void, Zhang Tao appeared one by one. They were not clones, but manifestations of the Great Tao. Each of these figures charged at a true king expert. Zhang Tao's original body also fought with the Fate King in the blink of an eye. The Fate King held a spear in his hand, similar to Qi Huanyu's spear, but his aura was many times stronger. With one spear, he broke the sky and earth and said in a low voice, Kings, today is the day to destroy the land of rebirth. Kill. Most of the catacombs' true kings were prepared. Although the humans suddenly attacked, they were not unprepared. In the blink of an eye, the powerhouses from both sides fought in the void, and cracks appeared everywhere. Some of the weaker true kings and peak true kings were in the center of the battlefield. Before they even fought, their golden bodies were already cut and bloody. Around them, the eyes of the true kings of the other 3 majestic courts flickered as if they were hesitating. However, the powerhouses did not hesitate at all. The maple monarch growled and roared, "Kill them." As soon as he said that, the maple monarch took the lead and entered the battlefield, blocking the war monarch instantly. Kill! Seeing that the maple monarch had joined the battle, some of the sky plant's majestic court true kings did not hesitate anymore. They entered the battlefield one after another. At that moment, the Sky Demon King and the Myriad Demon King, the two peak Demon Kings and Emperor-level powerhouses, also appeared. Kings of the Demon Race, kill! The two Emperor-level powerhouses did not hesitate. As soon as they appeared, they led the Demon Race dynasty to attack the humans. At the same time, the Fate King's spear was broken by Zhang Tao's saber. Blood flowed from his mouth, and he shouted in all directions, "What are you waiting for? Sigh." The next moment, a few figures broke through the void. They all had Emperor-level strength. King Wu, the human race will not be destroyed. Why do you have to do this? We have never wanted to destroy the human race, but King Wu is too aggressive. We have no choice but to do this to avoid repeating the mistakes of Tian City. The powerhouse who spoke came from a sky beyond heaven. However, Zhang Tao did not say a word. He growled and grabbed the Fate King with his palm. "Since you have made your stand, come at me together," Zhang Tao shouted, his voice shaking heaven and earth. "Zhang Tao is right here. If you want to kill me, come at me." The Fate King's eyes were cold as he shouted, "Everyone, surround and kill Zhang Tao." The next moment, another three venerable sovereigns appeared. Together with the Fate King and the venerable sovereigns who had been led here before, there were 5 venerable sovereigns. They surrounded Zhang Tao from all directions. Their intention was clear. They had to kill him. The 5 powerhouses had obviously come to an agreement. No one wanted to take advantage of the situation. They all went all out. The void around them shattered, and this place became an independent battlefield. The 5 of them quickly attacked Zhang Tao in the void. They were not the only ones. At this moment, the powerhouses of the 4 majestic palaces also began to converge. On the human side, the suppressing Heavenly King and King Wu were both restrained by the powerhouses. It seemed that they had reached a dead end. Desperate situations came so quickly. The people of the 2 kings had not made a move yet, and neither had the 2 kings. Not only did they not make a move, but more than half of the people of the sky beyond heaven and the bounded boundaries also did not make a move. Most of the people of the overseas immortal islands were also watching the show. Even so, there was no way out for the human race. 50 to 200. The disparity in combat power was too great. It was useless to be ruthless at this moment. These true king powerhouses were not afraid of death in a battle of life and death. Moreover, the probability of them dying was not high. On the periphery, the 2 kings watched coldly. Kill. After killing the human race, it was time for them to rebuild the heavenly court. As for them not making a move, the people of the catacombs did not seem to have any objections. Some things were more complicated than humans thought. They were still waiting. Who were they waiting for? The divine sect. In this battle, the powerhouses were not only plotting against the human race, but also the divine sect. The divine sect and the human race were the 2 most united forces. Destroying these 2 forces was everyone's consensus. These powerhouses did not make a move now because they were guarding against the divine sect powerhouses. They were even prepared to wait for these people to appear and kill them together. In the battle between the North and the South, the bounded boundaries were almost destroyed. There were countless deaths and injuries. Under such circumstances, how could it not attract the attention of all parties? Today, the gate of all beings appeared and besieged the human race. With the situation of the divine sect, someone would definitely appear. No one was willing to be a chess piece for others. Since the divine sect wanted to play chess, then they would destroy this chess player. These people watched coldly. In the central area, the battle had set off waves of energy tides. Even Fong Ping, although there were people taking care of him, at this moment, he had to face 2 true god-level powerhouses. King Pingshan was among them. There was also an old acquaintance, King Huai. Fong Ping. King Huai looked at Fong Ping with a smile and said lightly, "Aren't you usually very arrogant? Today, I would like to see how you escape." As soon as he finished speaking, he slapped his palm down, aiming straight at Fong Ping's head. Fong Ping did not say much. He took a detour and ran. At the same time, other human powerhouses were also forcibly breaking through, heading toward the direction of the capital city catacombs and breaking through the direction of the Forbidden Sea. "Do you think you can leave?" King Huai appeared in front of Fong Ping again, blocking his way, and said with a smile, "You'd better die." As soon as he finished speaking, a palm appeared in front of Fong Ping. "Break!" Fong Ping growled and slashed out with his sword, piercing through the void. The long sword collided with the palm, making a clanging sound. Fong Ping flew backward and broke through the void, but his sword also cut a bloody mark on King Huai's palm, and the palm was about to be cut off. King Huai frowned slightly, but Fong Ping sneered and said disdainfully, "Trash. You have about 70% control of your strength, and you're qualified to kill me." His words were truly enough to make one break down. King Huai's face was frighteningly gloomy. Trash. He was despised by a powerhouse who was not a true king. But Fong Ping was right. His control of strength was not high, because his promotion time was very short, shorter than King Pingshan. Although it had also been more than 100 years, this short time was relative to other true kings. Moreover, during this period, he had also been injured many times. Now, he actually failed to kill Fong Ping with one palm, but was injured by Fong Ping. Sharp tongues. King Huai snorted coldly, looking at King Pingshan a little sullen. Was this guy watching the show? When King Pingshan saw him looking at him, he also showed a look of disdain, too lazy to pay attention to him. The next moment, he quickly broke through the void and went straight to Fong Ping. As he attacked Fong Ping, he said coldly, "King Huai, I don't need you to interfere when I kill a god general." King Pingshan was still a little stronger than King Huai. Fong Ping almost did not react and was blasted into the void by his fist. Fong Ping drew his sword and slashed, and the force of this slash was also with all his strength. But even if he did his best, it was not enough to fight against these peak true kings. But an unexpected scene happened. King Pingshan seemed to be too careless, and his arm was slashed by Fong Ping's sword. The flesh and blood on his arm instantly collapsed, and he was injured by the sword. "Damn it!" King Pingshan was furious, a little angry, and roared, "You dare to hurt me? I will kill you today. No one can stop me." As soon as he finished speaking, the flesh and blood on King Pingshan's arm recovered instantly, and he blasted a punch at Fong Ping. Fong Ping was hit and flew backward again. King Pingshan's speed was extremely fast, and in the blink of an eye, he appeared behind him and blasted another punch. Fong Ping elbowed behind him, and the elbow and fist collided. Fong Ping staggered, and the void collapsed. Behind him, King Pingshan also took a step back. At this time, just as King Huai was about to make a move, King Pingshan was furious and roared, "He is mine! King Huai, how dare you interfere?" As soon as he finished speaking, King Pingshan was completely furious. His body was like thunder, leaving shadows in the void, and he quickly attacked Fong Ping from all directions. Although Fong Ping was no match for him, he was still fighting with all his might. Nearby, when the human powerhouses saw this scene, they also roared and broke out of the encirclement to rescue Fong Ping. Seeing that there were human powerhouses coming, King Pingshan seemed to be anxious and crazy. "I will kill you today." Boom! With a loud bang, King Pingshan blasted a punch, and Fong Ping broke through the void in the air, flying thousands of meters away in the blink of an eye. King Pingshan also chased all the way. Behind him, King Huai tried to attack several times, but King Huai kept cursing. "He dared to hurt me. I will wash away this humiliation myself." "King Huai, get lost. Do you think that I can't even kill a god general?" King Pingshan roared. He was too angry. King Huai's expression changed for a while, and he snorted softly. This guy, he had never seen him so prideful before. He bullied the weak and feared the strong. He knew that Fong Ping did not have the strength of a true king, so he dared to talk big. After watching for a while, Seeing that King Pingshan had beaten Fong Ping's flesh to the point that it began to crack, King Huai did not stay any longer and quickly rushed to other places. The Gate of All Beings was not with Fong Ping, and Fong Ping was now being targeted by King Pingshan. Although some true kings wanted to kill Fong Ping had an opponent now. Moreover, he was a true king who wanted to wash away his humiliation. They did not want to embarrass King Pingshan at this time. Fong Ping was indeed no match for King Pingshan. Even if King Pingshan was considered weak among the true kings, Fong Ping still fell into an absolute disadvantage when they fought. However, to be able to fight a true king at his peak to this extent, Fong Ping was also far better than the rank 9 Shi Huan Yu. Fong Ping's expression was solemn, but he did not say much. He tried his best to resist King Pingshan's attack, focusing on defense and evasion. Zhang Tao could not break out of the siege. The humans were still a little short of breaking out of the siege. The only thing he had to do at this time was to hold on and wait for Zhang Tao to break out. Just as Fong Ping was trying his best to resist, a voice suddenly came to his ears. Fong Ping, I have no intention of making an enemy of anyone. This time, I was also forced to come here. I don't care whether your land of rebirth has the seed of rebirth or not. All these years, I have not participated in any war with the land of rebirth. You and I are both the weak ones here. I'm not afraid to say it out loud. Now, let's join forces and fight our way out of the battle zone. When we reach the periphery, you go your way, and I go mine. Fong Ping was a little stunned. Stay away from here. This place is too dangerous. Stay away from here. I will say that you escaped. If any true king from the land of rebirth escapes this time, don't come looking for me for revenge. If Martial King can survive, tell Martial King that I have no intention of making an enemy out of you. Also, I will not cooperate with you. Only you and I know what we are talking about now. I will not admit to these things after this. Don't even think about dragging me down with you. King Pingshan's words were straightforward and clear. I will not kill you. Both of us will fight our way out of the siege and then run away together. Where you run to, whether you die or not, that's none of my business. As for me, I will run my own way. Don't drag me down with you. I will not pick a side, nor will I cooperate. I have no intention of selling a favor to the true king of the land of rebirth. I don't need it. Just pretend that I don't exist. As King Pingshan was speaking, his expression changed, and he roared, "This person is my opponent." Fong Ping could not die. If he died, where else could he find such a suitable opponent? It was very dangerous to besiege others. Although it was embarrassing to be evenly matched with Fong Ping, it was better to be embarrassed than to lose one's life. Did he not see that Heavenly King Suppressing had just casually thrown a true king, and the other party died in the blink of an eye? The true king who was thrown out was a little stronger than him. Therefore, not only could Fong Ping not die, but he also had to fight him to the end. Whoever intervened and killed Fong Ping would be taking his life as well. However, as soon as he finished shouting, King Pingshan's expression changed. At this moment, a beautiful woman appeared beside the two of them. She did not move much, just looking at the two of them, especially Fong Ping. Looking at Fong Ping and the sword in his hand, she frowned slightly. Venerable Green Lotus. King Pingshan's face turned green. The Venerable Green Lotus of Mount Wangwu? Why did this person come to his place out of nowhere? Was she helping Fong Ping? Fong Ping did not wait for Venerable Green Lotus to speak. He quickly transmitted his voice. That person asked me to tell you not to look for him anymore. He has already died. Green Lotus aura suddenly fluctuated. He transmitted his voice to Fong Ping, shouting sternly, "That person. You mean he is not dead? He is still alive?" If not, what did Fong Ping mean by this? Was the prince really not dead? Dead, not dead, but it's hard to explain now, and I don't have time. Green Lotus's expression changed drastically. Was the prince dead or not? Master had been searching for him for many years and had gone crazy. At this moment, the prince's emperor weapon had actually appeared in Fong Ping's hands. Had Fong Ping seen the prince before? Tell me, where is the prince? Where have you seen him? Where did the Emperor weapon in your hand come from? Green Lotus ignored King Pingshan. Her eyes were cold, looking at Fong Ping, waiting for his answer. However, Fong Ping was in no mood to pay attention to her at this time. He looked at the Shun family's patriarch, who was besieged by several people. The Shun family's patriarch was already defeated. At this moment, most of his golden body was destroyed, and the battle had just started. Help! You don't have to help me. Kill those people. I'll tell you everything later. Be asterisk starred. Be asterisk starred. If you don't help, I'll die anyway. I won't tell you anything. That person is not completely dead yet. There's still a chance of survival. He took out the Emperor weapon because he wanted me to ask for help. Let your master go and save him. If you don't help, I won't tell you anything even if I die. Fong Ping's mentality fluctuated violently. If you want to know, then help. Otherwise, let that prince be buried with me. I'll shout it out before I die. Let's see if your master will kill you or not. Green Lotus's expression was livid. Master knew that she knew the prince's whereabouts. But in the end, she missed the opportunity. Even if what Fong Ping said might be false, the Emperor weapon was in Fong Ping's hands. It was better to be safe than sorry. If the prince was really not dead and waited for rescue, then she missed this opportunity now, causing the prince to die. Master might really kill her. Green Lotus's psychological fluctuations were very strong, but Fong Ping did not care about these. If it was another time, he might receive some benefits or exchange the god-slaying saber. That would be enough. The person in the space battlefield had helped him before. Although he suspected the other party's purpose, he could still pass on the Emperor weapon. But now, Fong Ping did not care if he was despicable or not. He would drag Mount Wanwu down first. Kill! At this moment, beside him, the Shin family's patriarch roared angrily, unleashing a powerful aura. He sent a true king flying with one blow, but his skull was crushed by the other two true kings. Fong Ping's eyes were cold and fierce. Without saying a word, he went straight there. As for King Pingshan, seeing that Fong Ping did not defend or block, he almost vomited blood in anger. Should I kill or not? At this time, Fong Ping actually ignored him, not defending or blocking him. Do you believe that if I use this move, I'll slap you to death? How could there be such a person? But if he killed Fong Ping, what should I do? King Pingshan was furious. In the next second, he gritted his teeth and appeared in front of Fong Ping. With a rumble, he collided with Fong Ping, who was breaking through the air at high speed. King Pingshan flew back hundreds of meters. Fong Ping did not care about this scene. Venerable Emperor Green Lotus almost thought that she was hallucinating. What was going on? A true god was sent flying by Fong Ping, vomiting blood. How could Fong Ping be so strong? Damn it, Fong Ping, I will definitely kill you. King Pingshan roared and quickly chased after Fong Ping. It was better to get away from Venerable Emperor Green Lotus first. 9 Heavens Divine Emperor, that you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.